not looking past them, but know that this is a step towards going back to the state championship game. And so they've got to collectively focus, execute, come out and play as near perfect game as they possibly can at each position.
The field is in excellent condition. Game time temperature should be around 84 degrees, and by the fourth quarter, it should be in the mid-70s, and the winds, as Dew has already stated in his meteorological mindset, that the winds are blowing from the north at about 10 to 15 miles an hour, and if it picks up, it could be a factor on where the ball drifts and how passes are thrown as the night goes on. The head coach for Blackwell in his first season is Marquez Odom, and the head coach for Millwood in his 12th season is Darwin Franklin. When we come back, we will hear from the coach, take a look at the district standings, and get Doolittle's keys to victory. That's all coming up next. Don't go anywhere. This is Falcon Pregame, sponsored by SSM Health at St. Anthony, and we want to thank all our sponsors for tonight, including the Millwood Enrichment Foundation, Chris and Christy Harrison of Heritage Funeral Home, Super Prep, and also Perry Publishing and Broadcasting Company. Can't forget Big O Spoken Dreams either. You're listening to high school football, sponsored by SSM Health at St. Anthony, Peace of Mind Pediatrics, and the OCCC. We'll be right back right after this.
Oklahoma City, we're live right now during the Millwood Falcons broadcast, and today we have Mr. Milo Wilson. Mr. Wilson, how are you doing?
I'm great, and yourself, sir? Give
us that great title of yours representing Millwood in what capacity?
I am the Millwood Enrichment Foundation president, also the Millwood Oklahoma City School Board vice president.
Wonderful. Well, right now I know you represent the Enrichment Foundation, raising money. The goal is $25,000. Tell me, what is that $25,000 going to go towards?
I'm going to make you a promise. Each dollar that we raise will go towards our scholarships, towards our students, as well as our teacher needs.
Well, if they would like to make a donation of any kind, where should they go right now?
Right now, Cash App Millwood Enrich OKC. That is Millwood Enrich OKC, MILLWOOD ENRICH OKC.
Wonderful, and we look forward to seeing everyone reach that $25,000 goal, and you have a great day.
Thank you, thank you.
Hey sports fans, get ready to step into the world of championships with Super Prep Live, hosted by Miles Perry, only on OKC Sports Radio 105.3 FM. Dive deep into the lives of high school and college athletes with exclusive interviews and insight that reveals what makes them great. Follow Super Prep across all social networks to never miss a moment. It's Super Prep Live with Miles Perry. Tune in, get inspired, and stay connected. Visit OKCSportsRadio.com.
The son of Stoney Hudson and Sonia Hudson, the grandson of Darlene Tanner and Morton Tanner. He has attended Blackwell schools for 2 years and previously went to high school in Watonga. He has played football and run track and wrestled the entire time he has been at BHS. He's a member of the National Honor Society and was a wrestling state qualifier. His future plans are undecided. Aubrey Moffitt is our final senior attendant. She is the daughter of Diana McBrain and the granddaughter of Sherry McBrain. Both have passed. She is a member of Bank Board. She is a 2-year member of FCCLA, a 3-year member of Pep Club. She's run track for 2 years. She is a proud member of our art program for 4 years strong here at BHS. And she's also been a football manager for 4 years. She would like to attend NOC in the fall, and she is undecided on her future major. Dorian Palma is her escort. He is the son of Dora and Ruben Palma, the grandson of Rodolfo and Teresa Palma, and Jose Lugo and Eva Ruiz. He has attended Blackwell Public Schools for 4 years. He's been a member of the baseball and basketball teams for 4 years, football for 2. He's been a member of FCCLA for 2 years, and he is a current member of the BHS newspaper staff. He attends Emmanuel Baptist Church, and his future plans are undecided. Please welcome your 2024-25 football Queen Mesa Edgar, and Football King Laker Ingram. They are escorted by little Maylee Grace Edgar. She is the daughter of Eric and Tara Edgar, the granddaughter.
Welcome back to Maroon Stadium in Blackwell, Oklahoma. Tonight's football game, sponsored, of course, by OCCC, Peace of Mind Pediatrics, SSM Health at St. Anthony, Super Prep, GQ Fashions Fine Menswear, Big O's Pork and Dreams, and Perry Publishing and Broadcasting Company. Had a chance to sit down briefly yesterday with Coach Franklin and get some of his thoughts about the game the Falcons just finished, and of course the upcoming game tonight, and this is what he had to say. Coach Darwin Franklin. Coach, what did you learn about your team in the Heritage Hall game?
A lot. You know, we go through a lot of practice situations that a lot of the guys don't think are relevant in that moment, or they're wondering why we do a 2-minute drill, why do we go Mayday, why do we do some of the stuff that we do. But then there's times in games when we have to go a 2-minute drill, or we have to run our kicking game on and try to get a field goal right there before half like last week. So a lot of the things that we're doing are relevant, and you can't get kids to operate in a high level without going over those situations weekly. So we do it weekly. We're going to continue to do it. But just getting everybody on the same page and knowing this is what we're trying to accomplish, we got a chance to see that our work isn't in vain. And it was a great Heritage Hall club, and we almost stole one.
How do the Falcons get better this week?
We had a horrible week of practice. We've had a horrible week of practice, and we gotta get our head right. I mean, you know, everybody thinks that you can just poke and prod and pull, but even a bull got to be willing to go. Otherwise, you're not gonna move that bull or that steer. So, you know, we're gonna have to see that we can do our one at a high level. We're gonna have to see that we can execute every single play, and hopefully we're not sitting up here resting on last week.
You guys are facing Blackwell. This is a district game. It's also their homecoming game. It's also their home opener. So expect a festive crowd of everyone trying to support that team. What do the Falcons need to do well on another road situation that you'd like to see?
We got to execute. I mean, we got to be able, on offense, we have to put together drives. Not necessarily big plays, but if they happen, they happen. But we got to put together some drives that we can keep the ball moving, sustain a drive, come back, defense, stuff them. Special teams play excellent ball. Kickoff return, we've almost broken a few, you know. So we need to put all that stuff together and be moving in the right direction. Because that 2A1 is tough. 2A1 is loaded. And in order for us to be in the conversation, we got to put together games. We got to put together quarters, halves, and full games, and that's what we're looking at.
Coach Darwin Franklin, in his words. Maurice Prince and Dwayne Doolittle here in Blackwell. There was quite a bit to dissect there. What was your thoughts about some of the things Franklin said before we get into talking about his last comment about how tough 2A1 is?
The fact that he was able to, accurately assess his team. I mean, he's looked them in the eye to say, we learned some things about ourselves, but then he followed that up by saying we've had a horrible week of practice. And so now poking and prodding, I love the analogy of a bull having to be willing to go. And it's easy to those team members that were on this team last year to know how this game went last year. And so this team, Perry, Blackwell, not to be overlooked, but they have not had the success that the Falcons have had. And so that could lead to practice not being taken seriously. But the fact that when you reflect on the Heritage Hall game, in those moments, in the special teams, being able to get people in place, the hurry-up offenses, that did show. That didn't show like it was something that they just started doing one time. And so being able to draw on that, I think that was great. And it was a good loss, if there's ever such thing as a good loss. A good eye-opening experience to say, we're not as good as we thought we were. We had a shot, yes, at Heritage Hall last week, but we didn't execute. We didn't do the things we needed to do. But we still almost won that.
Right. He said, using his exact phrase, he says, we almost stole one.
Yeah.
And given the fact that he acknowledged that Heritage Hall was a quality opponent, and the fact that the Falcons are in this learning process, and we're saying where we are. The object of this team every year, if you follow Falcon football regularly, is to play their best ball getting into those last few weeks right into the playoffs, where the Falcons have basically found themselves almost every season under the coach Franklin tier. So it's something that this team has that identity, the coaches have that belief, and that's something that this team constantly strives for their due.
Absolutely. When you've been there, you've knocked at the door the past 2 seasons, and you're almost to the cusp of hoisting the gold ball. There are still some folks on this team, C.J. Turnbull, Cameron Carter, Waqueb Johnson, many who were so close to victory and saying we were the best in the state. They still got something to prove here, but that road to being the best in the state goes through Blackwell, Oklahoma tonight in this Blackwell Maroon team. And as I look through here, the stands, these fans, regardless of the record, they're here to support their team.
Yeah, and that's the definition of a hostile environment. Festive one here right now, but it's a hostile environment. So Coach Franklin made a comment at the end there about the 2A1 district, and when you start looking at 2A1 versus some of the other ones, rightfully so, 2A1 and 2A2, Washington and Millwood are split, but staying focused on 2A1 right now. Mount St. Mary's is off to a 3-0 start. OCS is off to a 3-0 start. Chisholm, the Chisholm Longhorns are 2-1. The Jones Longhorns are 2-1. Then followed by
get you ready to test your moxie, to see where you stand when it's time to get a litmus test, if you will, to see did we continue from where we were last year, or did we start over? And so these are tune-up games for folks to get new in positions and all those things like that. But as you said, tonight is when it really counts towards the district, towards your route to the playoffs, as well as the state having an opportunity to hoist the gold ball here in late January and December.
Yeah, when we look at some of the other districts, when you talk about 2A2, that's where Washington is, the defending back-to-back state champions right now in Class 2A. Then you also putting in there Marlow, Crossing Christians in there, but you put that group in there, and Lexington is always a tough out no matter which way, and don't look past Little Axe, that's also in there. But when you start talking about it overall, there are 8 districts in Class 2A. So it's a gauntlet regardless of which way you go. But getting out and finishing at the top gives you the easiest route to return to the playoffs. Now, this team is not looking at that. That's for us media people to look at and the fans to talk about, because Coach Franklin don't care about none of that. He cares, like you said tonight, too. You said it so well. The championship goes through Blackwell as far as he's concerned tonight.
Yeah, eat the meat that's on your plate. We can't worry about getting a rematch with Washington if we don't take care of business here tonight. And when you look at the other district levels, Metro Christian pops out at me, Stroud, Alva, Hennessy, Kellyville. These are all teams that are vying to etch their mark as well. And Beggs is playing well, Colgate is playing well, Holdenville. These are some teams that are undefeated here in the early parts of the season. But again, this is when they count the most, because doing those tune-up games, everyone doesn't go out and try to play a schedule of OU or an Auburn or Oklahoma State. They go out and try to test themselves against some people that they can win to get their numbers up. And so this is where the rubber really meets the road here, as the Blackwell Maroon Band is playing the state song Oklahoma.
Now, you're talking about that. Here's this. As we go to break real quick, dude, when you were saying in district play you can run, but you can't hide.
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen,
so we're going to take a timeout, and we'll be back in just a moment. We'll be back. You're listening to Millwood Falcon Football, brought to you tonight, of course, by SSM Health at St. Anthony, OCCC, Peace of Mind Pediatrics, Super Prep, GQ Fashions, Finds Menswear, Big O's Pork and Dreams, and Perry Publishing and Broadcasting Company. We'll be right back.
Hey,
This right here is a fat butt. Everybody been hearing about it on the radio. You can come to my Millwood City location, 6003 Southeast 15, or you can go to my admin, 285 South Santa Fe. Come get you one of these taters.
Injuries don't wait for business hours. Now you can be seen 24/7 for sports injuries. Whether you have a sprain or a broken bone, at the SSM Health Bone and Joint Injury Clinic at 13401 Northwestern.
Oklahoma City, I'm Miles Perry, and who wants to win $10,000? First of all, you gotta be a high school senior in the Oklahoma City Metro. Second of all, you gotta hit that QR code down at the bottom. Third of all, this is brought to you by Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores and Perry Publishing Broadcasting. And don't forget Superprint.
And Blackwell High School's Wheeler Houston Field. I'm Mark Metter, along with my spotter tonight, Officer Joseph Brown. We invite you all to enjoy tonight's outstanding high school athletic competition. We invite you to join us all in a spirit of good sportsmanship. On behalf of the Board of Education for Blackwell Schools, we welcome you.
Welcome back to Millwood Falcon football on a beautiful Friday night in Blackwell, Oklahoma. Homecoming night for the Maroons. Maurice Prince and Dwayne Doolittle here in pregame. Got a few minutes left, Dwayne, to go ahead and break some things down. So, Doolittle, give me some keys to the game.
So for me, it's real simple, Mo. The Falcons have got to have a short memory from last week, okay? That's over with, all right? So now they want to come out and make a statement, impact. They've got to execute on offense and defense, as Coach Franklin said. They've got to value the football. And now that we're in district play, minimize penalties and turnovers.
I like that. So execute, value the football, basically, no turnovers. And what the last one was what?
Minimize penalties.
Minimize penalties, especially on the road.
On the road.
One of the things that penalties will do is it will open up the doorway to kind of extend this game and open up opportunities for the Maroons to take advantage.
Yeah, let me expand on that, if you would. As an official, I always knew that the visiting team thought they were not going to get a fair shake. And so it's easy to get caught up into those nuances of they don't like us. And the easiest way to eliminate them not liking us is just play sound, solid football, execute, minimize the penalties.
Yeah, I agree with that, because when you minimize the penalties and you get more of the execution, you put the onus on them to play football, and that's what you really are here to do.
Absolutely.
And tonight the fans would like to see some football, and that's what they'd like to see. As far as the Falcons are concerned, I love the execute when you said short memory. Turn the page on last week.
Yes.
Now, interesting to see with Coach Franklin saying that the team had a poor week of practice. I'm really eager to see the first offensive possession, or actually the first defensive possession, that the Falcons have to deal with on the first possession of the game, period, because the energy is going to tell me a lot. Their body language is going to tell us a lot about what we're going to see tonight.
Yeah, and that's important. At upper levels, plays are scripted. They're key makers, they're playmakers on the offensive and defensive sides of the ball. We know them, we'll be calling their names all night long. CJ's got to have a good game. He may not play the entire game, so he's got to have a great game for the time that he's here and get that done. There's an opportunity tonight to rest starters. We know that. The other team knows that. But the execution factor is one that is critical to being able to get off the field mentally, physically, and that performance, and give the younger guys some burn, if you will.
Yeah, you're right. And and really you can't, as you just said so well, it's no real reason to sit there and wait to execute. You come out the gate and do what you want to do. Get out of it. Do what. If you're the Falcons, come out, establish who you are, establish the identity, and then, as you said, get some reps for some others, and then find a way to try and get home everybody healthy. That's what you want.
Yeah, and when I look at the roster for the Blackwell Maroons, this is a young team, an extremely young team with only 5 upperclassmen.
Yes, that's true. 5 upperclassmen means, and it looks like we're having the game ball delivered by helicopter right now, so it's about to get loud. We'll take our final break of pregame right now, and we will be right back. You're listening to Millwood Falcon Football, brought to you by SSM Health and St. Anthony, OCCC, and Peace of Mind Pediatrics.
Air Medcare Network and Air Evac Life Team are all proud supporters of the Blackwell Public Schools, and we say, go Maroons! Let's give this flight crew a big round of applause. Thank you.
Welcome back to Blackwell, Oklahoma. Maurice Prince and Dwayne Doolittle here tonight, bringing you Millwood Falcon football live on a Friday night. I have been around some games.
Yeah.
I have seen some things.
Yes.
I have not seen that.
Well, we can put that one down as in the record books as the evac flight came in and brought the game ball. And you can always tell the type of support where you are. In these little communities like that, you get that. You're not going to get that in the metropolitan area. You're going to get that in these outlying areas where it's an all-in effort here, as that Air Evac team just left here. And I'm telling you, I had to hold on to my lace front and my eyelashes.
For those who are listening on your radio, you only heard the helicopter land. Those who are watching streaming on PPBC TV, you got to see the copter land and the copter take off. I mean, that was quite something. And you say, what were they doing? They were delivering the game ball. How about that? So, a lot of fun as we get ready. The coin toss is now going down on the field right now, and it looks like the Falcons have won the toss and declined, and they will be kicking for Blackwell. Will receive the ball coming from the west end zone, and Millwood will be kicking basically the wind's coming across into the home side, so it would be a north breeze because our vantage point due is north-south, correct?
That is correct. We're looking due north, and the wind is in our face. And that's interesting. You see it often. Teams will win and defer for the second half option. I think the deferral here is to get the defense on the field first to set the tone, the temperature, and the temperament for the Millwood Falcons.
And it's interesting. The biggest thing from the game that you and Myron called last week, looking at this and looking at some of the game footage from last week, it was interesting to see the Falcons, when they were down 14 points, you talked about the resiliency of the team. Mm-hmm. And to me, that is a very, very big thing, because when you go into hostile areas, you have to already know that identity. You can't just all of a sudden put it on. And, this is not a Halloween game where we could say we're putting on different masks and things, trying to learn how we're going to play some football.
Yeah, you got to almost come in with the mindset that we're already down 30 points. And with that mindset, you're always pressing to get to the end zone, to make plays, to flip the field, if you will, to turn the tide, the momentum, get it in your favor.
No doubt about that. So we're now seconds away from kickoff. I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. If you're listening on your radio, thank you so much. And remember, if you don't have the app streamed by PPBC, you can stream the game, but you can also stream it live on PPBC TV. Download that app. It's free from your App Store, Google Play Store. You can go there and you can find this game and you can watch it and be entertained by all the wonderful things that Dwayne Doolittle and myself will say over the course of the evening. So we're ready to get these things kicked off as both teams have come in. Millwood, of course, is wearing their white jerseys with blue pants, white helmets, and the Maroons are wearing their maroons, top and bottoms, with white numbers, white lettering, and white helmets going on tonight. So coming in tonight, as you heard earlier, the Maroons are 0-3. But the easiest thing for them to do tonight is ride the momentum and the energy of this crowd to give them the early energy that they need to put some pressure on the Falcons. If you're the Falcons tonight, you've got to cut through that wind. You've got to focus in on what you're here to do and get ready and start ready to play in some football.
Absolutely. You've got to come in and you've got to take the crowd out of the game. You've got to do that, make a statement offensively and defensively. And if you look around towards the end, the only folks that will be left will be parents.
Well, if you're the invitee on a homecoming night, your object is to shut the party down.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's what your object is. And that's for any team that is a guest for homecoming, because you feel like you are being offered up as the sacrificial party invite to go ahead and get us started. But if you're Millwood tonight, you kind of want to put a little damper on that. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, you want to get this party started and get headed down 35.
Exactly. You want the party on the bus going back to Oklahoma City.
Absolutely. Hey, I want to give some love to the officiating crew. They're out of the Elk City, Weatherford area. Tim Bagby is the referee. Clint Rhodes is the umpire. Tanner Butler is our linesman. Gabe Watkins is the line judge, and Gary Nagel is the back judge. These officials are certified by the Oklahoma Secondary Activities Association and are assigned out of the Elk City Weatherford Officials Club. So love to them for coming down, spending their Friday night with us.
Set to kick off tonight, lining it up to kick it is Denver Young. He's going to kick that ball away. And let's see how he's going to angle it with this win. Kickoff is away. It's going to be fielded at the 15-yard line, returned out to the 20 to 25-yard line, and that's where the ball carrier will be brought down. Elliott Rolls returns the ball back to the 25-yard line. So that's where action will start off, 1st and 10 for the Maroons tonight.
And Marcellus Grant Johnson on that tackle for the Falcons. Again, got him out past the 25-yard line, 26-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 as this defense looks to tee off.
Looks like the quarterback will be Zayden Root, the 6'3" junior, 165 pounds. He had a nice role there during homecoming. So let's see. Usually the quarterbacks used to get to have a little fun on homecoming. No question about that.
Yeah, he's a homecoming king.
So going to work right now, Root has the offense set with 3 receivers, twins to the right side. Going in motion, Root has it. Going to hand the ball off the middle of the field, finds a crease, and is going to run up for a gain of about 6 yards on the play. Looks like the ball carrier on that was number 22.
Nice carry by
number
22.
Don't have his name on the roster.
So number 22 carries the ball ahead for a gain of what will be 5 or 6 yards there.
A pretty promising run there for the Maroons. Just went off tackle and just out-executed the Falcons there. Pick up 5 on 1st down.
All right, going back to work. That was Tanner Ward with the carry there, Dew. So mark that down. Next ball carry goes to Laker Ingram. Ingram with a couple of more carries, a couple more yards on the carry, I should say. Taking the ball just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. So gain of 3 on the play.
You got to love the name, Laker Ingram. One of the upperclassmen, one of the 5 upperclassmen on this team. He's looking to etch his mark here on a homecoming night as he picked up 3 yards on the play, bringing up 3rd down and 2.
So 3rd down and 2 it is, set to go. 4 receivers, spread formation, shotgun. Root has it. Going to throw it to the outside, and before things get started here, looks like we're going to have a false start. Our first penalty of the night is going to be called against the Maroons.
Yeah, good drive, promising drive going, and then you have that flag bug. Now you're facing going from a 3rd and 2 now to a 3rd and 7, and they haven't had a play over 7 yards already. So this is pretty crucial point of the game for them.
3rd down and 7 yards to go as it's set down. The Falcons are coming out. Now, the Falcons traditionally have been running the 3-3, but they have been known to switch at any given moment based upon the situation and how things are going. So right now the Falcons look like they've got 3-3 going right now. Going to work, going to throw the ball to the outside. Pass is over the top. Incomplete, intended for number 22, Tanner Ward. So 4th down.
Yeah, good pressure by the Falcons. Person number 88, Jonathan Parker, made the quarterback throw it out high as he had his hands up.
So that means you're going to get back there. Number 4 for the Falcons. It looks like Xavier back there, ready to receive.
Xavier Thompson.
Right.
Would love to take this one to the house.
High kick into the wind. It's going to take a bounce, and Thompson's going to scoop it up at the 32. He's at the 35. He's at the 40. At the 45. He's at the midfield mark. He's at the 40. Got a convoy in front of him at the 30. At the 20. 10-5. Touchdown, Falcons.
Bring it back, though. Got a blindside block.
Flag way back here at the 42-yard line. So it looks like it's coming back.
Yeah, Quest Morris just cleaned this guy up on a comeback blindside block, and that's going to be a big 15-yard penalty to negate that run back.
So the flag was thrown at the 42-yard line, so it's going to be given some space off of that.
Block in the back is the call against Millwood.
Yeah, that was not a block in the back. That was a crackback is what we used to call it. It's a blindside block, and those are illegal. And they're looking to clean the game up from that aspect because the defender had no idea where that blocker was coming from.
Right, and those blocks were basically ruled out for a reason. Player health, all those things taking factors.
Yeah, I remember when I played years and years ago. If you get hit from the blind side, you were telling somebody, call a crack. And that was definitely a crackback block.
That's going to move the ball back to the 32-yard line. So the Falcons will start off from that spot. And it will be 1st down. First and 10, so we'll get our first look at the Falcon offense. Falcons come set with 3 receivers now, twins to the right. Ball's going to be snapped, and there's going to be action. It's going to blow it. Going to be a legal procedure against the Falcons.
Yeah, someone didn't get set right there and was moving at the snap or before the snap. And so we've had 2 plays, and that looked like it was going to go for a while also. 15 yards and 20 yards in penalties before the first offensive snap.
Yes, that's going to move it. First and 15. Ball now spotted at the 27-yard line. So 4 receivers split. Or check that. They're going to rotate. Xavier Thompson switches sides. Well, the Falcons haven't quite decided what personnel, where they want everybody, but nonetheless, it will be 4 receivers. Ball in the middle of the field, and coming across the action there, a flag comes in, and it's going to be offside, so we'll get 5 yards back for the Falcons on that one.
Yeah, just couldn't hold his water there, and the Falcons were dangerously close to a delay of game penalty, and the defense bailed them out on the hop, so now that gives it back first and manageable again.
So back to first and 10. Ball at the original line of scrimmage. 4 receivers split. CJ. Falcons look like they're going to run the same play. CJ rolls to the near side, fires to the outside. Thompson has it. He's at the 40 and is going to get knocked out of bounds right before the 45-yard line, right about or at the 45. So nice catch there from CJ to Thompson.
Yeah, just a 0-yard pass behind the line of scrimmage. Get him in space, let him make a man miss, and move the sticks.
So with that being said, Falcons are looking at now a first down, nice first down yardage, ball at the 45-yard line.
Eliminate the penalties, go forward, and put pressure on the Maroon defense.
3 receivers, twins to the right side. H-back goes in motion across the formation, sets up on the right side. CJ steps back, steps up, finds a crease. CJ's going to pull it down and run it. He's at the 35, at midfield, down to the 45-yard line, runs out at the 41. It's going to be a first down for the Falcons at the 41-yard line.
Yeah, it's just a good read by CJ. Saw that his receivers are covered. There was nobody on the left side of the field, just tucked it and ran, got what he could out of it, and removing the sticks again.
So first and 10 Falcons. 19 seconds on the play clock, 9:48 to go in the first quarter tonight. They still got Falcons with touchdowns on the board, so I guess they're going to have to see if the Falcons can actually earn it on this drive now.
I'm loving it.
Going to work now. Handing the ball off to Keys. Keys gets down to the 35. He's at the 30. A flag goes down. He's at the 10. 5. It will be a touchdown for Keys, but it's going to come back.
Keys with the run.
But there's a flag down there at about the 33-yard line.
Yeah, going back to our pregame, what we talked about, keys to the game, eliminate penalties. Eliminate penalties. This is the second time now that touchdown has come back because of a penalty. Poor execution.
So it's going to be holding.
Holding is the call
against the Falcons.
It'll be a 10-yard penalty.
And that 10-yard penalty is going to move the ball. Let's see here where they mark it off. Should be back to the 41 or 42-yard line.
Yeah,
make that the 44.
It happened beyond the line of scrimmage, so it's a spot foul.
Spot foul based upon where it is. You're right. So that puts it back at the 44-yard line. So it will be first down and 13. 9:38 to go. 0-0 is the score. Falcons come set. 2 receivers to the left side. Thompson goes in motion across the formation. Now CJ is going to fire the ball deep, and Thompson trying to get his hands on it. Contact, and multiple flags come in on this one. So likely it will be pass interference against the Maroons there.
Yeah, the mindset for the defender was give up 15 yards, don't give up 6 points. And he just reached and grabbed Xavier to slow him down while the ball was in the air.
And that is why that's called pass interference.
Pass interference is the call.
He got his money's worth out of that one as Xavier was just running past him.
So they're going to move the ball inside the 35-yard line, inside the 30, down to the 29 or 28-yard line.
Yeah, the difference in that was we had a scat back versus a regular stock Charger, and Xavier hit another gear, and he was leaving it.
So going to work now, first and 10 for the Falcons. 3 receivers, twins to the left side. CJ in shotgun. Pistol formation. Going to hand the ball off to Keys. Keys finds a crease up the middle to the outside. 20, 10, 5, and this time the Falcons get into the end zone for the touchdown.
Touchdown.
Just a simple off-tackle run. Keys got through the hole, looked up, saw no one there, got to the edge, put it in the end zone. Beat. Who's got the keys to the Jeep? Anthony Keys Jr.
Anthony Keys taking into the house for a touchdown, a 29-yard run, and the Falcons find themselves up 6-0 early. 9:25 to go. Now the Falcons are going to go for 2.
Cameron Carter in for the Wild Falcon.
So let's see what he can do with that. Ball snap. Cameron Carter finds a crease and gets into the end zone. And the 2-point conversion is good.
Point is good.
And so it's 8-0. 9:25 to go in the first. We'll be right back. You're listening to Millwood Falcon Football, brought to you by SSM Health at St. Anthony and OCCC. We'll be right back. The Falcons, basically 3 plays without the penalty, 68-yard touchdown drive, scoring by Anthony Keys. Maurice Prince and Dwayne Doolittle on the call. Dude, what was the most impressive part of that last drive to you?
It's almost as though it was just so easy. You know, when they eliminated the penalties, they just executed hat on hat, get downfield, get your assignments, do your 111, and let the results show for themselves. And that's what happened when they cleaned up the plays.
All right, so Denver Young set to kick the ball off for the Falcons. Ball spotted at the 40-yard line, and here we go, back to action. Kick is away. End over end, takes a bounce, going to be picked up at the 20-yard line. Trying to turn the corner goes, of course, Laker Ingram, and he finds a flock of Falcons on the edge. He's going to take the ball out to about the 22 or 23-yard line, 1st and 10 from that spot.
Yeah, Laker thought he was going to be able to reverse field, but these Falcons are lightning quick, and they were able to shut that down as they funneled him to the near side, and there was no escape route on the back end.
Yeah, he tried to get the edge, and when you're against a team that has speed, one thing you have to understand is you got to go north and south. Yeah. You really can't go east-west. They will cut that off. So 1st and 10 for the Maroons. Zach Root back to action now. Ball is snapped, and Root going to hand the ball off over
Handoff to Ingram.
To number 5, Laker Ingram.
Game brought down by 26 for Millwood.
Yeah, the workhorse for the team, one of the only upperclassmen, or the few upperclassmen they have here on this squad. A depleted squad, I might add. As I look on the sideline, there are only 9 extra bodies.
So no yard or loss of 1 on the play is what they're going to say. He's going to get knocked or tackled back down at the 21-yard line. So 2nd down and what will be 11 yards to go. Make that empty set now. Spread formation, 5 receivers, trips to the left. Root drops back in the pocket. It's going to throw it to the outside. And that pass is incomplete. There was some incidental contact here down the edge, but that pass was incomplete.
Yeah, uncatchable pass is not a rule in high school football. However, that ball was thrown so far out of bounds, no one had an opportunity to catch that one.
8-0 is the score, 8:30 to go before the end of the first quarter here in Blackwell, America. Blackwell, Oklahoma tonight, homecoming night for the Maroons, and the Falcons are starting a party of their own, leading early in this contest 8-0.
Yeah, shout out to the Millwood Band here now performing in the stands, making their presence being known and felt here also.
3 receivers. All right, trying to find a little jet action there, but nothing doing there as they gave the ball again to Tanner Ward up the middle, and it's going to be 4th down.
Yeah, Tanner tried to dance before he got into the hole, and these Falcons are far too quick for that. They were able to snip that out and lost on the play.
So that's going to move the ball back to the 20-yard line, so it will be 4th down and 20 from that spot.
good looks from the defense so far, pitching a shutout, 2, 3 and outs, get the ball back to the offense. Xavier Thompson is back, looking here to take this thing back to the house.
So Xavier set up right now at midfield at about the 48-yard line of the Falcon 48. Root is going to kick the ball, and it's going to go straight over into the cheerleaders over here at the maroon side of the field. The kick, unfortunately, he got it up, and the wind took it right out. So it's going to be back at the 29-yard line. So it's going to be basically a 9-yard net punt there, Dew.
Yeah, positive field yardage for the Falcons. Bad outcome for the Maroons as they were looking to minimize the potential damage that Thompson could do with receiving the ball, and they kind of messed that deal up by kicking it out of bounds. Short field for the Falcons.
Right, and it did. You said minimize. It minimized quite a bit on that one. All right, going to work. Here come the Falcons. C.J. Turnbull comes, shotgun formation. Falcons got 2 receivers to the near side of the field. Keys in the hip pocket to the right. Ball is snapped. C.J. eludes the blitz, tries to get to the edge, and is going to be brought down after a gain of about 5 yards. C.J. had a crease. If he had stopped and cut inside, he might have been able to take that one to the house there.
Yeah, Cameron Short, one of the 2, 3 seniors they have on this squad, just stayed home, played assignment, and took care of things, took care of business there, and was able to bring C.J. down after about a gain of about 5. Call it 4.
Call it 4 overall. So down to the 25-yard line, so gain of 4, second down and 6. Setting up from that spot. 7 minutes to go by the time this ball is snapped. Shotgun formation, 2 receivers to the left. C.J. going to throw the ball. Thompson tries to find a crease in the middle of the field. Dances, is going to be brought down near the 20-yard line. Good open field tackle by the Maroons on that one, but it's going to be close to a couple yards shy of the first down. It's going to be 3rd down and short yardage here at the 21.
Sophomore Elliott Rose was not fooled by Xavier going back and forth there, was able to form a wall and stop him before he was able to reach the 6, be 3rd down.
So that puts them 3rd down and short yardage situation. C.J. comes, set, 20 seconds on the play clock right now. Single back, 2 receivers to the right. Ball snap. Anthony Keys looks like he's going to get it. Anthony Keys with a nice convoy, skips through a tackle into the end zone, and it will be a Falcon touchdown.
Yeah, just great patience by Anthony Keys. Set the blocks up, was able to dance, jump cut to the outside, ran towards the pylon, and the only thing that stopped him was the end zone.
So touchdown. As you would always say, who's got the what to the G?
Beep, beep. Who's got the keys to the G? Anthony Keys Jr.
So now Cameron Carter to run the Wild Falcon. Ball is snapped. Carter's going to get cut down, but they're going to call false start against the Falcons. That was kind of a low shot there against Carter when he was coming around the corner. It looks like he's going to be all right, but that tackle looked a little low.
Yeah, how do you chop down a tree? You start at the root, and that was good open field tackle. Cameron's got to be careful going in there. Maybe he'll just step over him there and keep going.
So that's going to move the ball back to the 8-yard line, so that's going to cause the Falcons to change their 2-point conversion personnel. Cameron Carter remains out there, but now C.J. Turnbull is out here, but now the Falcons look like they're going to call timeout as they only had 3 seconds on the play clock left. So when we have this timeout, let's go ahead and thank our sponsors as we have time to do that right now. SSM Health at St. Anthony, OCCC, Peace of Mind Pediatrics, Super Prep, GQ Fashions Finds Menwear, Big O's Pork and Dreams, and Perry Publishing and Broadcasting Company. As we get back for this play here, what would you like to see coming out of this timeout, dude?
Well, you take a timeout because you want to set something up. And I want to see the execution. We're talking about it. We're having the opportunity to talk about this thing. Let's see what we can do here as CJ comes in as the quarterback here. It's just offense as normal here, not the Wild Falcon. This will be the regular Falcon offense. We want to look at execution here. Every opportunity.
Every opportunity matters here. So let's see what they draw up. See what Coach Black decides to draw up here in this particular situation. Falcons have 3 receivers, twins to the right side, single back.
With Hodges and Jackson.
And so now it's not about them. It's not about the other team. It's about us. It's about what we need to do to make sure we're executing, clicking on all cylinders. This is an extension of practice.
6:14 to go. And the kick is away. Going to be caught inside the 15 at about the 13-yard line, trying to get a crease to the outside before the returner is knocked out of bounds at about the 22. Elliott Rose with the return for the Maroons.
Good coverage. Everyone stayed home, stayed in their lanes. You know, let him come to us, and we made him tap him inside the 25-yard line. Good execution, special teams.
So catching the ball there right about the 13 and then returning it all the way out to the 23-yard line. So that's where the Maroons will set up shop, first and 10, their third possession of the night. Zach Root this time. Looks like they got the pistol formation going on right now. The lead running back becomes the H-back, and there was a miscommunication, and in the backfield, and down he goes. Pressure from the outside.
Zay Root with the keeper, brought down by number 88.
He was in the huddle with that one. He knew exactly what was coming. And the Blackwell Maroons are going backwards. Good execution on defense.
So it will be a sack on the play. That time, was that number 88 on that play there?
Yes, sir. Jonathan Parker, 88.
So Jonathan Parker with that play right now brings him down inside the 20, down to the 19-yard line. So it will be second down and about 14 or 15 yards to go. To the outside again, Zach Root feeling pressure, and two Falcons bring him down that time.
Zay Root once again with the
ball. That was a tough one there.
Yeah, Parker.
This time brought down by Parker, number 88, and number 51, Johnson.
Back up field, bringing it to the inside, and he had help there.
All right, so now that was going to be a loss of 6 on the play. Going to bring him down to about the 14-yard line. Back-to-back sacks coming at the hands of Jonathan Parker. And the Falcon defense has got the ears pinned back and heading downhill now. So pressure, Zach Root. Falcons again are going to corral him as though there was no protection for him. And he was really just looking for some space to operate, and there was nothing there.
Yeah, Parker blew that one up early.
Down by number 24, Young.
Out of that. Young was in on the tackle for the Falcons, sending to help.
So as it stands right now, he was able to escape, maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, escape somehow, ball at the 14-yard line. And it will be fourth down and 19 yards to go. So Xavier Thompson is standing at the Maroon 45-yard line, waiting to get this one. 4:14 to go. Clock is rolling. 16-0 is our score. And Zach Root's kick is again high in the air, but that wind is mean. And it's going to blow the ball out of bounds at about the 38-yard line there, dude.
Yeah, 38-yard line. You know, again, taking Thompson out of the
finishing
equation.
the sponsor list, RCB Bank, Brown's Tech Agency, K Electric Cooperative, Blackwell Family Medicine, Pizza Hut, Shepherd Oil.
Get the offense back on the field for the Falcons and let them just run it down your throat.
For the exception of the first possession of the game, the Falcons have been operating in the Maroon a majority of the time in Maroon territory tonight. 4 receivers, trips to the right side, ball on the left hash, ball snapped. CJ steps in the pocket, finds a crease, fires across the middle. A little too much pepper on that one. Pass incomplete, intended for number 12 that time, Dominic Martin II.
Yep, got it where it hit him in the wrong spot, right in his hands. And CJ went over and told him, his head's good, I'm going to get it to you. 3:58 to go.
Ingram and Root
it's kind of interesting sometimes. You know when to throw with touch, but when you're trying to throw someone open, you got to put it a little bit ahead. But you said it hit him in the hands, but you want to kind of angle it if you're going to put some heat on it so the receiver throws it in action, similar to what the Cowboys did last night with CeeDee Lamb, I'm sorry. Going to work right now, and they're going into the end zone goes Anthony Keys, but multiple flags on the play right there.
Keys from Turnbull. There is penalty flag on the field.
These are just mental errors now. It's behind the play.
Holding is the call against Millwood.
And Keys is in the end zone already, and that doesn't bring that one back.
So the holding penalty, of course, as you have clearly stated, Zoo, is a spot foul. And it's going to move the ball. Looks like the penalty took place at about the 30-yard line, so it's going to move it back right there to the 39.
Yeah, again, just
spot foul. Yeah, really.
Mental. I mean, you got this team already know where they are.
Second down and 11. 4 receivers. Trip to the left side. Ball is snapped. CJ's going to fire it. This time, Martin makes the reception, but nothing doing there. Good open field tackle there by the Rose. Elliott Rose with the stop. Maybe a gain of 1.
Number 12, Martin.
Right, Johnny on
Or
the
no,
spot.
a gain of maybe, no gain on the play.
Yeah, Rhodes right there, Johnny on the spot. Man came to him, and he had to put him on the ground. That's called football, folks.
Third down and 11.
When I was growing up, we played a game called Tackle the Man with the Football. And that's what this was tonight. Rhodes tackled the man with the ball.
4 receivers. CJ, shotgun formation. Drops back in the pocket. Going to throw it across the middle. Ricochets off the hands.
Gabriel
Bivens with an opportunity to make the reception. Incomplete. Again, that's 2 basic pass plays that we've seen here, Drew, where it's hit the player in the hands, unfortunately. They have not been able to bring in the reception.
Yeah, in a tight game, in a close game, you need those to keep your offense on the field. It's not going to matter much tonight. But again, it's not just going through the motions. It's about execution. It's about us. It's not about them. It's about us. What do we do for ourselves to put ourselves in the best position to be successful?
4 receivers, 4th down and 11. CJ's going to put it up. Falcons got to throw it. Has the receiver open. He's going to throw it to Xavier Thompson. And Xavier makes the reception near the end zone, and he dives for the end zone. They're going to say he's down.
We're still waiting.
Pass completed to number 4, Thompson.
So Xavier Thompson with a nice catch. And they're going to mark him 1st and goal at about, are they going to say after 1?
Yeah, 1 yard line there. And Thompson did everything he could to get into the end zone there.
Yes, he did.
Just great effort on his part. Made 2 men miss, whiff, and he just couldn't stay on his feet to get into the end zone.
A gain of 38 on that pass play, so it sets up 1st and goal for the Falcons now. Xavier Thompson with a nice reception. I guess he's the only receiver at this point that's using Stickum.
Which is illegal, by the way.
Oh,
that's there's a delay of game penalty here on the Falcons.
So personnel, looks like it's going to be a personnel issue here.
Millwood.
So a delay of game penalty coming.
Be a 5-yard penalty.
Again, Falcons just self-inflicted wounds here with not having the play ready, not knowing what we're going to do next. And those are timing issues. Those are the maydays that Coach Franklin talked about. The hot calls and all those things. Being ready. What are we going to do next? What comes after this?
All right. I formation. They're going to hand the ball off to Cameron Carter. He's going to run downhill, dancing through Maroons. He's going to take the ball back inside the 5-yard line, back to the 3.
And on stop for Blackwell. Number 50, Taven Perkins, and number 3, Zayden Root.
Blackwell Maroons. They're nice. They tackle you and they help you back up. They wouldn't have liked my coach, Othello Dotson, when I played Little League.
What kind of things did he say? We'll talk about it after this play. Double tight end, I formation, and this time right up the middle. Keys into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Got the hat trick on the night.
It's just easy.
Number 2,
it doesn't even look like they're working hard right now. And I don't want that to be a carryover into the next game. Again, sense of urgency has to be there.
1:32 to go. It's 22-0 right now, and the Wild Falcon being run by Cameron Carter. And Cameron Carter, again, eludes the tackle this time, too. He must have hurt us. And gets into the end zone for the 2-point conversion.
Protect yourself at all costs.
2-point conversion is good. Run made by number 6.
24-0. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. You're listening to Millwood Falcon Football, brought to you by OCCC, SSN Health at St. Anthony, and Peace of Mind Pediatrics. Welcome back to Maroon Stadium here in Blackwell, Oklahoma. Maurice Prince and Dwayne Doolittle on the call. Falcons up 24-0 in this contest. We've seen the Falcons get going, and when they get going in a positive way, without penalties, they look impressive. But right now, the story, sure, with Coach Franklin will be the massive amount of penalties that the team has generated early in this contest.
Yeah, and it becomes a pattern after a while. Okay, you did it one time, but you continue to do that. You continue to hold behind the play. You keep making these mistakes that cost us to take points off the board. And if you do it at this level, you'll do it again. It may cost you.
Ball is caught at the 15-yard line. This time, England turns the corner this time and gets beyond the 30-yard line, or near the 30-yard line. But it's one of the best returns of the night so far for Blackwell. So first and 10, it looks like from their own 30-yard line.
Knocked out of bounds by number 8.
He played on the line for first-year head coach Marquez Odom. And if you're on the other side, if you're on the Maroon side of the field, you got to work with what you got to work with. And so I'd like to see them, run the ball maybe. Pass plays are not working. Use Millwood's speed against them. A screen play, some trick plays, some things like that. And it's difficult to execute the trick plays when the plays in practice are not working.
1:26 to go in the first quarter. 24-0 is the score. 3 receivers, twins to the right side. Zach Root going to step back in the pocket and then trying to get to the outside again. And you just talked about this. Laker Ingram trying again to get to the edge.
Tackle, number 17,
trying to find some daylight. Maybe lost a yard there back to the 29.
Yeah, that's Kamari Williams just not having that. And stayed at home, came up from his cornerback position and was able to make the play. And again, lost it down on the yard on the play. And lost of yardage, I should say.
Yeah, and that's something that they're going to have to really. You said it. Work with what you have.
Yeah.
That means understand that in terms of athletes and all those other things, scheme may not be the most important thing. It's not simplicity, but executing what you can execute that gives yourself a chance to get the first down and to extend drives.
Yeah, to that point, Army is still executing the triple option.
Pass intended to number 20, Tanner Ward.
Sooners did that years and years ago. And the game has evolved to that. But at some point, you've got to coach the talent.
In on the coverage for Millwood, number 17, Williams.
Wild, exotic plays.
Yeah, what that does is it can demoralize your team, get your defense back on the field, and you really haven't taken much time off the clock to really do it. Because the best way, for Blackwell to really maintain is to keep the Falcon offense off the field.
Yeah, and that's it. And you're passing like we are here, and it's complete. And that receiver caught it and it went to the ground immediately.
Yeah, that is, of course, 22 Tanner Ward with the reception there.
Correction on the previous play. Pass was intended to number 20.
So he could have turned out of that, maybe got up the field and brings it along the 4th down.
So it's 4th down, 8 seconds on the clock. We might not get this kick away before the end of the first. 3 seconds too, and that will be the end of the first quarter. It is 24-0, and we will be back for the start of the second in just a moment. You're listening to Millwood Falcon Football, brought to you by OCCC and SSN Health at St. Anthony and Peace of Mind Pediatrics. Welcome back to the start of the second quarter. 12 minutes is back on the clock. Maurice Prince and Dwayne Doolittle. Homecoming night for the Maroons. The Falcons early on have all the party favors. 24-0 is the score, dude.
I love it. All the party favors. Yeah. Right now, again, when they saw this game on the map, on the horizon, it was almost a foregone conclusion. You still got to play it. But again, I keep saying it's not about what the other team is doing. It's about what we're doing, how we're executing here. And the Falcons are mostly hitting on all cylinders. More penalties than I would like to see for them, especially this type of game. Know that you're going to have some, but certainly the ones that have brought back 2 touchdowns, we got to eliminate that going forward.
Now, I'm glad you mentioned that because I think that would be the biggest takeaway from the Falcons, even though you're up, the penalties, because against the teams that you're going to be playing, and of course, this is the last game of September. The October schedule for the Falcons is a lot tougher. We'll talk about that here in a little bit, but that's something worth noting because you can't play this type of style and expect to win those games against really good teams, and the Falcons' core part of that schedule really begins the early part of October here, dude.
Yeah, and that's going. That's just around the corner. Homecoming is just around the corner. And we get into the meat of the schedule, the cold season. How you respond to that? We're going to go from sweating to having on extra layers of clothing, and how do you respond to all of those things? That's a mindset. That's a mentality, and you got to have that warrior mindset and mentality every night you step on the football field.
Back to work here in Maroon territory at the 34-yard line. CJ sets, throws, fires. Bivens with the reception this time with a nice grab, gain of 5 or 6 yards at about midfield, right at the 49-yard line.
Yeah, Elliott Rowe all over the place for the Maroons, and he's looking to make his impact on this game tonight defensively, offensively, as the Maroons have taken a timeout, as Coach Odoms has seen something he didn't like.
Yeah, there was something there he did not like at all. So he's going to take that timeout. But one thing is for sure, we're going to stay right here, just elaborate a little bit more. When you start talking about, teams, because high school football sometimes you see teams that that are pitted against each other without a lot of talent often. And so when you are the underman or the team that is not as talented as the opponent, the object here is to build positive habits and maintain as much as you can throughout the contest. It's one of those things you have to do. It's difficult at times, but coaches have got to find a way to do that.
Yeah, you got to again play to your talent level, and I'll switch sports if you don't mind, just to show this to our listeners and our viewers that if I've got a 5-5 lineup in my basketball team, and I'm not going to pack it in the paint. I'm going to have a perimeter game. Well, when you're limited on your talent here on the football field, you still got to line up. You still got to go smash mouth football. But on the offensive side of it, we may have to cater this to the talent that we have. And Coach Odom took that timeout on defense because he only had 10 players on the field.
3 receivers now, twins to the right side, back to live action. CJ's going to throw it, steps up in the pocket, fires one, and the ball's deflected. Nice job by the Maroon defense harassing CJ in the backfield. Going to be a loss on the play back to the 34-yard line, almost to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, CJ had 2 receivers becoming wide open on the backside of the defense, but good disruption by the Maroons.
So it's set up 3rd down and what will be about 10 yards to go now for the Falcons. 11-11 to go before the end of the first half. 4 receivers, 2 split on either side. CJ gets it. He's going to fire it. Catch is made. Finding a crease at midfield. Cutting down. And is going to be brought down inside the 40 into the 38-yard line. So it will be 1st and 10 Falcons from that spot.
Yeah, number 7, Carter Ray, a freshman, into the ball game, getting his opportunity to shine tonight. And he knew what to do with the ball once he got it. He turned up field and got as much out of that as he possibly could.
So 1st down, and there's an injured Maroon on the field right now. While they take a look at him, we'll take a timeout as well. You're listening to Millwood Falcon Football, brought to you by OCCC, SSM Health at St. Anthony, and the Millwood Enrichment Foundation.
Injuries don't wait. For business hours, now you can be seen 24/7 for sports injuries. Whether you have a sprain or a broken bone, at the SSM Health Bone and Joint Injury Clinic at 13401 Northwestern.
Welcome back. The injured player was able to walk off under his own power. Looks like it was a defensive lineman. Is that correct?
Yeah, number 72, Carson Spencer, a 6 foot, 255-pound freshman defensive lineman.
So Carter Ray catches a first down for the Falcons down at the 38-yard line. At the 38-yard. And the Falcons getting called here again with another penalty. Dude, what's going on tonight?
Man, that was the quickest delay of game penalty I've seen in a while. That should have been a 40-second reset on that reset with the injured player.
And somehow, some way, it ended up not being that is the case. So that is going to be a strange one there. But back to live action. Pass is incomplete on the following play.
Yeah, CJ looking for, again, number 7, Carter Ray, and he was just overthrew him.
Casey and Jacob Jackson, please go to the main entrance.
So here we go.
It's
going to be second down and about 15 following. Second down and 15 following the penalty. And the Falcons have got to really get set. They're kind of going, not moving at top speed, not moving at game speed with the energy. They're kind of just, now I won't say going through the motions, but they're not lining up with some intensity here, dude.
Yeah, they're going through the motions. I'll say it. CJ around the corner.
CJ decided, looked like he was going to fake to go out of bounds, decided to take it back in, cut it back inside, and falls down by the numbers inside the 20 at about the 19-yard line. First down, CJ Turnbull for the Falcons.
And this is the part about it, to your point about being lazy and lethargical, and I'm true on this. This is only with a 25-second play clock. We haven't had the 40-second play clock. That's why the Falcons are finding themselves with a short clock. When you can go through the motions and then still break big plays and have a 1st and 10, that's easy to get caught into that trap.
Going back to work again, Anthony Keys dances in the middle of the field, still dancing. Going to be brought down inside the 15-yard line, down to the 14, gain of about 4 or 5 yards on the play. So Anthony Keys having a good night thus far. Already has the hat trick on the night so far,
Yeah, great night for him. Great night for the Falcons. Great night to be a Falcon here.
Anthony Keys with 57 first half yards so far. 4 receivers, trips to the left side. CJ in shotgun formation, standing at the 18-yard line. It's where he's standing. Ball is at the 14. CJ is going to swing it to the outside. Xavier Thompson catches it. That's not Xavier Thompson, excuse me. That's Gabriel Bivens taking the ball inside the 10, down to the 9, down to the 7-yard line. Looks like it's going to be enough for a Falcon first down.
Yeah, 1st and goal. Again, a 0-yard pass, just straight down the line of scrimmage and go from there. And he was able to get all he could out of that. It'll be 1st and goal for the Falcons.
So 1st and goal for the Falcons, ball at the 7-yard line. 9:28 to go, 24-0 is the score. 4 receivers. Ball the snap. CJ's rolling. Going to fire it. Xavier Thompson dives for the end zone. And they're going to say he's down inside the 1, but that was really close. Xavier Doolittle has tried to sell out to get to the pylon on two offensive possessions and not quite able to get there.
Yeah, that's a touchdown.
You're saying you saw the same thing I did. Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's a touchdown. But again, just line it up and execute. Take all the data out of it. Cross the line, standing up, you're good.
8:45 to go. Clock continues to run. 26 seconds on the play clock now.
Jumbo formation for the Falcons.
And the ball is going to be handed off. No, it's not. CJ is going to turn it and get into the end zone himself, but there is a flag on the play.
With the keeper. Flag on the play. Holding is the call against Millwood.
Holding is the penalty against Millwood tonight. Another penalty. And that's going to move it back to the 11-yard line. It should, or somewhere around there.
Yeah, it's going to be back to the 11. I'd be interested to see what the penalty yardage is on the Falcons tonight as they're starting to mount up. And again, we talked about a game that's a critical game, a critical juncture in the game. This one, again, we know where we are here now. I mean, we know the Falcons are knocking on the door 24-0 here. And we've still got 8 minutes left before halftime.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm counting 9 first-half penalties for the Falcons right now. Xavier Thompson this time
And another flag.
Gets to the end zone, but there is another flag
That's completed to number 4.
right there at about the 2-yard line.
On the play.
Yeah, holding again.
Holding.
Is the call against Millwood.
So, okay, I guess I am the jinx on that one. I said, how many penalties will we get in the first half? I said 9, almost 10. No, we're at 10 now.
So let's talk about that from the officiating standpoint. It's not so much that those are not holes, but in a game that of a different magnitude, those would be overlooked. And so now the officials are expecting the Falcons to be totally clean versus moderately dirty. That's the only way I'm going to be able to say that.
What's going on with the field position here? I mean, I thought it was a holding. So it's a spot foul, so it must have taken place at the 1-yard line? Is that
brought it back to the line of scrimmage.
All right, 2nd and goal from the 11. 3 receivers. Ball is snapped. And to the end zone this time, running it in for the Falcons. Looks like number 11, Donovan Knight.
Donovan Knight. The third time's always the charm.
Isn't that how that works?
Yeah, third time's always the charm. And again, if I'm Coach Franklin, I'm upset about the penalties. I'm going to be upset about the penalties. But I'm not going to be overly concerned about the penalties, because if I go back to the video, which he's going to do, and if I can't find him on the video, I know what was going on in that game.
Denver Young to attempt the extra point tonight.
Denver's been kicking the ball off real nice. It's a good opportunity for him.
Xavier gets it down. The kick is up, and it is good.
Extra point is good.
Nice job there by Denver Young.
Yeah, 1 if by land, 2 if by sea.
So that extends the Falcon lead to 31-0 right now. And we will be right back. You're listening to Millwood Falcon Football, brought to you by Peace of Mind Pediatrics, OCCC, the Millwood Enrichment Foundation, and SSM Health at St. Anthony.
Guys, check out these awesome and stylish suits. Unbelievable quality at these prices. We've got a wide range of styles, from classic and timeless to colorful and trendy designs. Whether you need a suit for a special occasion or just want to look sharp, we've got you covered. We are GQ Fashion's fine menswear. Visit us in Oklahoma City at Northwest 23rd and I-44. Come find the perfect suit for your next event, all at an unbeatable price.
Falcons are set to kick it off. 31-0.
Got a light bulb out on the scoreboard.
They sure do. 7:44 to go. And Doolittle, we were talking about it. The Falcons are finding a way to get there, but I heard what you said about, the Millwood coaching staff going to go through and look at the tape on these penalties.
Yeah.
But anytime that you start getting into the double digits, it's a little bit insane as the ball is being picked up there, of course, by Ingram. And Ingram is going to bring the ball out to about the 24-yard line there?
Yeah, just past the 24.
Yeah, so at the 24-yard line, first attempt from that spot. But when you get to that many penalties, something still didn't go right.
Yeah, again, it's magnified because of where we are in the game, the type of game we're in, I should say. And the coaching staff's going to have some accident forgiveness, but the players have to take ownership of what they are doing and it's being seen on the field.
I like that, dude. Accident forgiveness. We'll see if that works when you're running sprints after practice for that.
Absolutely.
All right, Root's going to fire the ball. Nearly intercepted. He and the receiver, number 10, were not on the same page. That was intended for Jude Sappenfield. Pass incomplete.
Yeah, he was under duress. Number 60 for the Falcons, right in his face. Desmond Rice, and quarterback's mechanics were just a little bit off, throwing off his back foot and let the ball sail a little bit there because he had an open receiver, nearly picked off.
All right, 4 receivers now. Shotgun formation for Root. Ball to snap. Root has it. Pressure being applied. He's going to fire one deep to the outside. Threw it in double coverage, and it's going to be intercepted. Falcons have it at the 30. There's a flag on the play, and they will be knocked out of bounds inside the 20. However, the flag on the play, I'm thinking Doolittle, it came on the run back for that block again, not necessarily before the interception.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see where it was. I was following the flight of the ball there, but it was down pretty early, so ineligible downfield on the offense. So that did come down early.
Okay, so that penalty is going to be declined.
Yeah, 1st and 10 Falcons.
Now, that just basic on the standpoint of where we're sitting tonight, I could not see who intercepted that ball.
Number 14 for the Falcons.
So that was Zion Roberts.
Yes.
Intercepted that ball. That he's going to return the ball down all the way to the 13-yard line. So nice return by Roberts.
Yeah, just ball hung in the air. He was there, played the receiver, and showed his offensive prowess.
CJ is going to throw the ball. And Thompson catches it in the end zone, or they're going to say it bounced off the carpet.
Yeah.
But once again, there is a flag in the backfield. I mean, I have to give it up. Last night during the Amazon Prime broadcast, of course, of the Cowboys and the Giants game, Al Michaels kept saying he had never seen so many flags in a game. I would dare to say, Al, you might be getting outdone tonight.
Yeah, it's almost like Flag Day. There's laundry on the lawn. And then this particular one, I saw that whole play, and wasn't much there. I watched that particular matchup. Not a lot there.
So that holding penalty brings it back to the 23-yard line. So at this time, 1st and 20 from the 23. And this time, Blackwell calls for time at the 7:16 mark.
Yeah, too many players on the field.
So with that being said, you know, when we're looking at the penalty count, and I know, based upon the numbers, 11 penalties for the Falcons for around 69 total yards so far. But to me, is like you said, the often calls of the holding. And again, holding takes place on every play.
Yeah.
But what I like of what you're saying here is the situational calls that in a normal game may not take place is what leads people to always be negative about officiating.
Yeah, and you know, if it's holding, it's holding. Yes, it is, but no, it isn't. Does it impact or affect the play? Was it at the point of attack? Did it cause did it put the defender or the offensive player at a disadvantage because of what they did? Because honestly, you can throw a flag on every play. And so these types of flags that we're seeing in this game tonight are because, again, situational football. It's because of where we are. The officiating crew knows that Millwood's going to be able to overcome these. All right? And it's do I like it? No, I don't.
And when you make the comment about, you say about where we are, it's about what kind of where we are in the game.
Yes, absolutely.
So
not geographically, but where we are. And that pass nearly picked off. It's about where we are. It's about talent level. It's about who has the better chance to be able to survive, overcome this flag being on the ground.
31-0, 7:11 to go in the second quarter.
Pass intended to number 13.
So the Falcons will have to go airborne here as they're staring down basically a 2nd down and 20. Ball at the Blackwell 23-yard line. Going back to work. 4 receivers, trips to the left side, ball snaps. CJ looks left, dumps it down, and Keys.
That'll be a flag there.
And that's going to be a flag coming in after the fact, which will give the Falcons a 1st down. High tackle. And again, great sportsmanship being shown by the Maroons here. But that penalty will give the Falcons a 1st down because it was a defensive penalty.
He's calling a dead ball personal foul. Won't be a 1st down, though.
That's right. It's high school ball.
And so this should be a half the distance penalty because no penalty can take the ball up more than half the distance to the goal.
So it moves the ball inside the 10 down to the 9. So that's a net almost 13 yards there for the Falcons. But we will repeat the down, so it'll be 2nd down and what will be 6 yards to go. Bunch formation to the left side of the left side, and before things get started this time, it's going to be offsides against the Maroons.
Yeah, it's execution lining up.
Offsides against Blackwell.
I'd love to see the official tell the guy to back up. You know, just back up because he didn't put himself in an advantage. Yes, was he offsides? Yes. Does it stop the clock? Yes. Does it help the team? Yes. Does it help him learn anything? No.
All right, so the result of that is going to give the Falcons a 1st and goal now at the 3-yard line. And CJ looks across the middle, fires it into I guess, double coverage right there in the goal line. There was a lot of traffic right there in the middle.
Yeah, looking for Xavier Thompson, trying to give him that one back that he thought he had earlier.
Yeah, Xavier feels like he deserves one. I'm gonna be
yeah.
He said I've had 2.
Yeah, called him down at the one a couple of times, and then one that I thought he caught that said he didn't catch, and had maybe 3.
So 7:04, 31-0 is the score. 3 receivers, twins to the right. CJ looks right, going to fire it, and the pass is going to be caught. Touchdown into the end zone this time.
Mark Anthony Fisher.
Touchdown.
So Mark Anthony Fisher with the touchdown.
Number 80, Fisher.
Yeah, just a pitch and catch, easy 3-yard pass, boom, run to the pylon and turn and look, and the ball's there. Good execution.
Good execution that time, and that makes it 37. And so now Denver Young out for the extra point attempt.
Denver's been kicking the ball well tonight.
And the extra point is good. 2 for 2.
2 for 2 tonight. And that's a good look. That's a weapon that could have been used last week when the Falcons found themselves down 3.
Well, I think the Falcons have had so much success over the last few years of running the 2-point conversion. It's one of those type of things. It's nice to have the standard because, at some point in time you need to be able to change it up. And I think it's great that Denver Young's building that type of confidence, and that's exactly games like this that you're talking about, Doolittle, in which you get to not necessarily try things, but build confidence in areas of your game that will help you in the games like you said. You needed it last week against a quality opponent.
Yeah.
You need to have those things down, especially going into October. We said it before, I'll say it again. So that's something the Falcons got to do.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly there. I'm Dwayne Doolittle, and I approve that message.
For the Maroons,
that's so nice, because I'd like to know what was going to happen if you didn't.
In the spirit of politics, I approve that message. You can't be one-dimensional. And for years, the Falcons have been without a place kicker. Now they've got Denver Young out there and putting his foot on the ball and doing well. I mean, I've watched him the last couple of kickoffs. The ball it's a nice end-over-end kick down the middle with great distance, and the coverage is there.
All right, Denver Young getting ready to put it in play. And the kick rolls around on the ground, and it's going to be down right there at about the 23-yard line. So 1st and 10 Maroons from that spot.
Yeah, I did all that talking about him, and then he sent a squib kick down
well,
the field.
I think that might be by design. If you ask Coach Franklin, they'll tell you that they're going to put the ball that's going to give it the most distance. Putting it up in the air is not proven tonight with the wind that we've been dealing with. It's been blowing us, in our faces all evening long. I don't think it's necessarily the right decision to make at that time.
Yeah, I mean, it's well executed. I mean, it's down inside the 25. That you want to be able to do is pin your opponent deep as you possibly can and get a 3 and out on your defense and put the offense back on the field.
I formation. And trying to swift it, nice, heading it up to the up back that time. Gain of a couple of yards, dude. That's what you've been talking about all night long for the Maroons.
Yeah, just a new wrinkle. We got a big number guy in the backfield, number 88. Get his information for you here. And, hey, coach, put me in. I think I can do something.
Young.
That's Ryder Short. And he came in and was able to first man through. And he's got a brother on the team, Cameron Short.
So 6:33 to go before the end of the first half. 38-0 is the score.
And, we're hyped. They got a 2-yard run. They haven't had they hadn't had positive yardage in a while. And that's big when you're building a program.
3 receivers, twins to the right side, ball on the right hash. 10 seconds on the play clock. So Maroons are doing what they can as, again, the Falcons into the backfield and getting their hands on Ingram. It's going to be dropped for a loss back to the 20-yard line, a loss of about 4 yards on the play.
And now you see why we celebrated the 2-yard run, because that's been the norm. The Falcons have been pinning him in the backfield, loss of yards on multiple plays. But to have that success early, that's a positive outcome for them. But kudos to the Falcons for being there for the next time.
5:43 to go. Clock continues to roll. 25, or the play clock's at 24 seconds, so plenty of time for the Maroons. Substitution. Okay, got to be careful. Player took his helmet off exiting the field.
Yeah, he's a sophomore. He didn't know any different.
Timeout, Blackwell.
So timeout, Blackwell right now at the 5:26 marks. We'll take a timeout here as well. You're listening to Millwood Falcon Football, brought to you by SSM Health at St. Anthony, the Millwood and Richmond Foundation, and OCCC.
Oklahoma City, I'm Miles Perry, and who wants to win $10,000? First of all, you got to be a high school senior in the Oklahoma City Metro. Second of all, you got to hit that QR code down at the bottom. Third of all, this is brought to you by Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores and Perry Publishing Broadcasting. And don't forget Superprint.
25 cheerleading squad.
Third down and long as we're back to live action here. Pistol formation for the Maroons, 3 receivers, twins to the right. Ball snap, Root. Ball fakes, going to fire it to the outside. Pass nearly intercepted. Great job that time by the Falcon defense reading the play, 4th down.
Yeah,
broken up by
Layman Griffin just jumped the route, and he did everything but catch it. He was headed to the end zone for a pick 6, just didn't catch the ball. There's a down Falcon on the play.
In the backfield, going to get looked at. Have a timeout on the field right now to look at the injury. So one of the things about last week's game, the flow of the game itself early on, 72-yard drive to really start it off. Heritage Hall got on the board. The Falcons really weren't truly ever out of the game. There were just mistakes here, maybe missed assignments there that Heritage Hall capitalized on, and that's very typical of a Brett Bogert team. They are always well coached and a very smart team. They are very self-aware. This Falcon team is still young and still needing to learn those things, but when you start playing teams like this, one thing you don't want to do is play down to their level. You want to keep your level high. You want to execute at a high level, and to me, overall, tonight thus far, if you had to rate where we're seeing the Falcons play tonight, where would you put it at?
I'd put it at a C, just a C. It's like we're just going through the motions. I always tell my kids when we're playing sports, you can't take a play off, because when you take a play off, the person on the other side is looking to shine, and that's when you can find yourself with penalties, with injuries, and behind on the scoreboard also.
So the injured player was able to walk off under his own power, which is really good. So 4th down now. Now it looks like number 50, was it 56?
55, Chris O'Shea.
O'Shea, okay. He's able to walk off under his own power. Looks to be a lower leg injury, but he seems to be all right. So 4th down and 13. And we're going to kick this ball away. What the Maroons are, and Zayton Root, I should say. The quarterback is set to kick it off. He's got it or punted away. High kick this time, and the wind has kind of died down, so he's got it. Nice little bounce, and Xavier picks it up at midfield. Tries to find some daylight. Turns the corner near the Falcon bench. He's at the 40. He's at the 35. He's at the 30. Cuts back inside at the 20. He's still on his feet, trying to get to the end zone. At this time, he returns it back. No flags on the play. Thompson finds himself in the end zone finally.
Yeah, 1 if by land, 2 if by sea. and 3 if by special teams. And so this time, all facets of the game are coming together for the Falcons. We've seen this before, where he took the punt in the first quarter, and a flag was on the play. This time, no yellow rags on the ground, and it's a touchdown as the band starts to play.
All right, so Denver Young's back on the field right now. Xavier Thompson needs to get some air. Of course, he is the placeholder, and they're waiting for, of course, the play clock has not started yet, so they're waiting for the kicking tee or the correct ball. So Denver Young now has it. The kicking tee is already down there.
Yeah, so remember, that was a return, so the ball that was on the field was the offensive team's ball. They had to get theirs out there to be able to kick it.
So now, 16 seconds on the play clock. Thompson now ready. Calls for it. And Denver Young puts it through the uprights.
Again.
24 Young with the extra
and Thompson
point.
did a great job of getting that snap and getting it down and get it set for the place kicker, who didn't have to break his rhythm. And that's a good-looking combination going right there.
So 45-0 is the score. Falcons have really been in control since the start of this game. You know, looking at how action continues to go around, haven't seen a defensive touchdown as of yet. We've seen great defense being played by the Falcons, but special teams getting on the board is always a good thing because you've had opportunities, and in pregame, Coach Franklin said we've had opportunities, but now they have a real chance to get one done, and they got one done tonight.
Yep, put it down and immortalize it, put it in the book. And those of you that are looking and listening may think, why are they running up the score? They are not running up the score. It's just execution. Think about it. How many touchdowns have come back so far?
Rolls
and then field position for the Falcons. And then on the other side of the field where the Maroons have been limited on the number of first downs, they've gotten a few by penalty, and I don't recall very many others by execution on the offense. And so it's been a Millwood dominant offense, dominant game to this point.
And as to your point, Doolittle, you said, and so anybody listening, if you want to say that if the other team does not have any first downs in the first half, it pretty much quantifies everything you just said.
That's the game I'm seeing.
Denver Young kicks the ball away. Going to be fielded now at the 19-yard line. And returned out behind. Ingram returns it beyond the 25, out to about the 26 or 27-yard line. 1st and 10 Maroons from that spot.
And understand this, that the Maroons are not behind on the scoreboard because they're not trying. This is a fundamentally sound Falcon football team. It's not by accident that we find themselves here.
And also, I want to go back to the point you made earlier, because the more information you give people, the better it really sounds on the radio, and it sounds better for our cast when we say this. Looking at the roster features 5 upperclassmen.
5, yes.
You're talking about the rest of their roster comprised of sophomores and freshmen.
Yes.
So this is a young team for Coach Odom.
Delay of game
penalty against Blackwell that time.
Yeah, and doing my pregame preparation, that's one of the things that jumped out at me. 26 players on the roster. 5 upperclassmen. But when we get to game time, there are only 9 eligible players on the sideline when the offense or defense is on the field.
They've got injuries and players not available as well. So that moves the ball back inside the 25, back to the 23-yard line.
Trick play.
So first down and about 14 yards to go, maybe 15. Root with the keeper tries to get ahead. Nothing doing there. It's going to be second down from that spot.
Brought down by number 31.
And this Blackwell Maroon team will have an opportunity later in the season to shine. They're going to play some teams where they're more evenly yoked with. This is just a loaded, talented, state runner-up, 2-time Millwood Falcon team that they're running up against tonight on homecoming.
4:25 to go, and your score is 45-0 for those who are listening on your radio. And if you'd like to join us here and join us in Blackwell, Oklahoma, you can go to PPBC TV and watch the game streaming live. A jet sweep.
End around,
excuse me, is correct. End around, trying to get to the edge. and not able to got a few yards, but not much, out to the 24, maybe a gain of a yard on the play.
Yeah, remember I talked about running some trick plays, misdirection plays, and all that. But it's difficult to get the trick plays in when your plays that you practice all the time are not. You can't execute those, and it doesn't slow anything down. The Falcons are in the backfield; they're all over the place. They're trying to use their speed against them, but you got to set that up. You got to run something at them, then reverse the field to be able to get that to happen.
Now, what that's going on right now, 3rd down and what will be deep pass to the outside, and the pass nearly intercepted. Double coverage out there as he tried to run a smash route coming across the formation. Tanner Ward was not able to make the reception there. It's 4th down.
Yeah, good arm talent there by the quarterback, Root. Just stood there and in the pocket, was able to get the ball out across the field to the other hash. Had an opportunity to complete that. Good defense by the Falcons.
So now going well. And they're going to have to pump this ball away.
Yeah, Coach Odom asking for a pass interference call on there.
Nine seconds on the play clock. They've got to get this kick away.
Don't have the personnel on the field. That'll be a...
All right, set to work. 3:28 to go. Kick is away. Bounces on the ground. It's scooped up off the ground. And now running inside the 30, inside the 20. Do we have back-to-back returns for touchdowns?
Nope, and because there's a flag on the field.
But there is a flag down there at about the 29-yard line.
Dominique Martin II knew what to do with it when he got it. However, there's a yellow hanky on the field. And you can't outrun the flag.
You can try.
Yeah, you can try.
It doesn't work all that well.
No.
But Dominique Martin,
the second,
had returned the ball
holding is
out
call against Millwood.
Into the end zone, but that flag was going to be thrown right there at about the 28-yard line.
I'd like to remind all the seniors
but he did let it bounce off the carpet, did pick it up nicely and knew what to do with it.
Yeah, didn't try to go east and west or north and south, as we say here tonight. He went east and west, found a hole and got into it.
So that penalty moves the ball back beyond the 35 out to the 37-yard line. CJ is going to put it up. CJ looks across the middle of the field, and it bounces off the chest plate of Thompson that time. Ricocheted right there.
Yeah. And some might say, why are they still passing the ball? Because this is the identity of the Millwood offense. This is the identity. They're not rubbing their noses in it. They're just trying to execute their plays in the style of play that the Falcons play here tonight. And it's usually through the air or Anthony Keys. Look for Keys on this play.
So going to work right now. CJ going to swing it out to Keys. Keys with the crease. Hits the Jets at the 20, at the 10, 5. Touchdown, Anthony Keys.
Number 2, Keys with
who's
the
got the keys to the Jeep? And I'm not calling plays, but I knew that was coming.
Yeah, that was a nice play, by the way.
A 0-yard pass into the backfield, just swung it out to him. He knew what to do with it, had blocking out in front of me as we had trips to this side, hat on hat. He turned it on when he got through the first line of defense, and the only thing that stopped him was the end zone.
Into the end zone he goes, and the score now is 51-0, pending the Denver Young extra point.
A 50-piece.
In the first half.
Yes.
And it's going to be blocked. And they're going to pick it up.
It's already called it dead.
Oh, did they call it dead?
It's already called dead.
Okay, so the officials.
It's high school football.
Extra point is no good.
Only the offense can score
with the
on a
extra
kick.
Point block.
Yeah, but as you said, all that energy being expounded there.
Yes.
Fan base was looking for anything to cheer for.
They found it. They made it to the end zone. Good practice.
So that is blocked there. So as it stands, it will be 51-0, 3:03 to go. And again, it's the right habit to go ahead and establish it. And kudos to Cameron Carter for running it all the way down. But as you said, in high school football, if it is blocked, it is dead at that spot because only the offense can score it.
Yes.
So good call there, Dew, but keep cleaning that up because oftentimes when we watch football from Saturday to Sunday, the rules change, and then ultimately there are rules in high school too, so you have to reverse yourself on that one. Just like, for me, probably my number one that catches me all the time is defensive penalties in high school does not equal a first down.
Yeah, no automatics.
So
the only automatic first downs in high school or NFHS football are roughing penalties.
Roughing
the
and
passer,
personal fouls, yes.
Not necessarily personal fouls, but roughing the quarterback, roughing the kicker, roughing the snapper. Those carry automatic first downs. Everything else is a yardage penalty.
So as it stands right now, 51-0 is the score. Denver Young to kick this ball away.
One thing to clean up for the Falcons in special team there, somebody didn't get a hat on that kick, on that extra point.
Ingram catches it at the 14-yard line. Ingram tries to find a crease, and once again tries to run east-west, and the Falcons track him down at about the 25-yard line.
I've watched Kenneth Childs on every kick return, and that young man fills his lane. Even though the play goes away from him, he stays in his lane, keeps containment, and when Ingram tried to bounce out, he bounced right into Childs. Hats off to that young man for staying in his lane and not ball hawking.
So staring at it now, 2:56 to go in the first half of this game. Score is 51-0. Maurice Prince and Dwayne Doolittle on the call. Pistol formation, 3 receivers. Ball is snapped. Root with a nice handoff at the middle of the field. And Laker Ingram is going to get the first down of the night for the Maroons at the 40-yard line. What a run, a gain of 15 yards.
That young man is still playing hard as this Maroon faithful have found something to cheer about here on that hard run by Laker Ingram.
And again, spreading the Falcons wide and then going downhill in the one gap or the A gap.
A-gap, yeah. That's the play that they saw the Heritage Hall run on the opening play of the game.
So now going to work again. Laker Ingram, hard running up the middle this time. Another good 3-4 yards on the play, and that's what you want to extend the drive if you are a Maroon fan. Takes the ball beyond the 40 out to the 42. Make that the 43-yard line. 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, again, hard-nosed running. This gentleman has no quit in him. This is a senior year for him. He's one of the few seniors that this means everything to him. His last high school football homecoming, he wants to go out. I mean, he's down on the scoreboard. One thing now you can just execute. Just go play ball.
So 3 receivers now, pistol formation. Under 2 minutes to go before the end of the first half. 10 seconds on the play clock. Root calling for it, has it. To Ingram again. Ingram dances and then tries to find some daylight, but the Falcons say
Ingram
not this time.
With the ball brought down by several
Yeah, stops and starts.
No gain on the play.
Yeah, he's got to get ahead of steam as he's done in the previous carries. What he's going to find is if he starts dancing before he gets to the hole, that hole's going to close up for him. I always told the kids when I coach, run through the hole, dance out of it. He's got to get through the hole first.
Yes, the only time that you get a dancing machine works is if you're MC Hammer or James Brown. Because the hammer will find you. It's normally the Falcon defense.
And it has been tonight.
Going back to work. 3 receivers, twins to the right, pistol formation, under a minute to go. And at this point, with 10 seconds on the play clock, you don't need to stall for time, and they're going to catch it because the running back did not get set, or he came out of his stance before the ball was.
He could have made that hole by just going in motion, just staying in motion. I know you're like, what does that mean? Simply this. He went in motion before the snap, and if he'd have stayed in motion, he'd have been okay, but he tried to stop, and that's what made the false start.
Tried to correct it.
Yeah.
So they're going to rerun that clock now, 36 seconds to go. 9 seconds on the play clock. Ball is snapped. Ingram has it, and this time he's smothered.
Ingram
Again, he's going,
with the carry.
in this case, north and south. When he's trying to get, should be going east and west, and in this case, he should be heading west. And that Falcon defense is too fast for him to try to seek out a secondary hole as they're closing quick on the ends.
You are the
So
winner
that will be
of
the last
OU
play.
Fire pit. Once again, Joey
So
Axel.
that will be that.
You're the winner
So
of the
3
OU
seconds,
Fire
2
Pit,
and 1, and we're
which is
officially
located
at
right in front
halftime.
of the
Going to take a
concession
5-minute break, and we'll be back. Take a look at some of the numbers.
Peggy
Talk
Nixon.
about
You
also
are
some of
winner
the
OSU
individual
Fire
performances
Pit.
as the Millwood
Don't claim
Enrichment
your
Foundation
prizes.
halftime
Joey Hetzel,
report is coming up next.
OU,
And you're listening to Millwood
Peggy
Falcon
Nixon,
Football, brought to you by
OSU.
OCCC, SSM Health at St. Anthony,
The
and
BMS
Peace of Mind
cheerleaders would like to
Pediatrics.
thank all the
Oklahoma City, we're live right now during the Millwood Falcons broadcast. And today we have Mr. Milo Wilson. Mr. Wilson, how are you doing?
I'm great. And yourself, sir?
Give us that great title of yours representing Millwood in what capacity?
I am the Millwood Enrichment Foundation president, also the Millwood Oklahoma City School Board vice president.
Wonderful. Well, right now I know you represent the Richmond Foundation, raising money. The goal is $25,000. Tell me, what is that $25,000 going to go towards?
I'm going to make you a promise. Each dollar that we raise will go towards our scholarships, towards our students, as well as our teacher needs.
Well, if they would like to make a donation of any kind, where should they go right now?
Right now, Cash App Millwood Enrich OKC. That is Millwood Enrich OKC, MILLWOOD ENRICH OKC.
Wonderful, and we look forward to seeing everyone reach that $25,000 goal. And you have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'd like to welcome to the field the Blackwell Maroon Marching Band. The band's show this year is Into the Sky. Color Guard Captain Lena Journey. Color Guard Captain Lena Journey. Is the band ready? Blackwell Band, you may take the field.
Maurice Prince and Dwayne Doolittle here for the Millwood Enrichment Foundation halftime report. The Millwood Enrichment Foundation continues to lead the way and help Millwood students in many different forms and fashions. And how do they do that? I'll tell you how they do that. They do that by raising funds, not necessarily just for the athletic department, but raise it for students who might be dealing with food insecurities. Also, students struggling with maybe the affordability of having some clothes and some maybe school supplies. The Millwood Enrichment Foundation is your spot to do that. They, again, set the goal of trying to raise money. You can donate today at hashtag Millwood Enrich OKC. Millwood Enrich OKC. Do that on Cash App right now to make your donation. $5, $10, $15, $20. It doesn't really matter. Also, this halftime is also sponsored by OCCC. Do you have your Peebo tickets? Do you have yours?
No, but I'm going to get it.
Yeah, Peebo Bryson performing live, and I do believe that concert is next Friday or Saturday night. That's a great opportunity to see the legend himself, Peebo Bryson. What would be your favorite Peebo song, Doolittle?
I know you were going to ask me that. I knew you were going to ask me.
I mean, well, of course, the commercial always does "Can You Stop the Rain?"
Well, that's where I was headed.
Yeah, I mean, because to me that was one. I was in high school at the time that song was at its biggest, at its height, and I'm gonna say this now, that song, even at my young age, was like, hey man, this dude right here.
Yeah, he got it.
He got something.
He's got some pipes on him.
Yeah, he does, and I have to use this one to give a shout out for my father right now because his favorite album by Peebo Bryson is "Take No Prisoners."
Take no prisoners. Man, Peebo, you start talking about Peebo, man, that's when I had a head full of hair. I had a 73 Chevy Impala with 2 hubcaps. They were both on the driver's side because I wanted my side to look good as I went down the road.
That was a very interesting visual there, Doolittle. I see that.
You said high school, and that's what it took me back to. You know, we used to put bricks in the back so the front of the car would, run higher, and we had curb feelers, and it was a whole different era. It's a whole different vibe.
So Peebo is performing October the 5th at 7 p.m. at OCCC, Grammy Award-winning vocalist, singing all your favorite songs, and you can get your tickets now. Purchase online at tickets.occc.edu, or you can call the box office right now at 405-682-7579. For those who attended Boney James last week, they still talking about that man still knows what he's doing with that instrument.
Man, I would have loved to have seen Boney last week, but we were at the football game. And Mo, if I could just take a point of personal privilege right here, tomorrow is a special day. My lovely girlfriend will turn a year older on tomorrow. And
she's going to be 25?
Again.
That's right. How wonderful. How wonderful is that?
And not only that, she is one of the teachers on the staff at Millwood. So when you start talking about the Millwood Enrichment Foundation, I have seen it impact her classroom. Miss Monique Daniels, she was the teacher of the game on last week. I just want to say happy birthday to you before your birthday, and I love you. There's nothing you can do about it.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. We can take that stance because when we look at the things from the football scale, we've had a 51-0 score tonight. It's a game in which Millwood had 24 points at the end of the first quarter, then added on an additional 27 in the second to lead 51-0. What is the biggest takeaway, would you say, of the first half thus far for the Falcons?
Penalties. Mental errors, brain lapses, missed assignments. I'm going to harp more about the blocked extra point than I would about anything else because that's an assignment that was missed. The penalties, they're subjective, but you didn't do your job on the special teams, and you let the whole team down at that instance. And so that's a coaching point for me right there. We still have work to do. This team, you heard it. You've heard it. We commented about it off the air. The loudest roar was when they got their first down, which was followed by the blocked extra point that the guy ran all the way down for nothing, only followed secondly by the fire pit giveaway. I mean, that's the only excitement that's been in the air for this team, this community tonight here on homecoming night.
And in regards to football, when you're talking about that, this community here is extremely positive about their homecoming tonight, and they are living it up tonight. I mean, this is a packed house, but in terms of what they've had to be able to actually celebrate football-wise, everything you said is on point. And I'm just going to set that there because right now they've got traditions out here basically handing off and cultivating school spirit between different generations of athletes on the field. And so right now, for those who are watching on PPBC TV streaming right now, you saw the young generation meeting the I guess the returning alumni from Blackwell High School, and it's something unique. I mean, tradition is what makes football great, because when we talk about that, we talk about it on Saturday. We talk about those divisional matchups in the NFL, but high school is, I hope it can remain one of the pure forms of the sport still. NIL has kind of changed the landscape of college, and we're getting to see that in real time every week. There's a new story coming out about the good or bad about the NCAA's inability to regulate that, but that's a conversation for another day. But tonight, high school football is community Doolittle. Yeah. We know it from all these towns, and whether you're here or whether you're at Millwood, that stands, and that is what you come out for on a Friday night.
Yeah, and I saw that a little differently, Mo. I was listening to the public address announcer, and on the right side of us were the seniors, and they walked to hand off the pre-K and kinders some type of coin or something. So I guess that's the passing of the guard, the ones that are coming in and the ones on their way out. And that was pretty touching to me. I'd never seen anything like that before. So we've had two firsts: the helicopter flying in, and the seniors handing coins to the littles.
And that's how you cultivate that, and it's wonderful for them to be able to do that and generate that, because it's still, and that's why this stadium is packed.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and I know what the score is. Those who are tuning in or tuning out because they know what the score is, going to look for something else. But when I'm telling you here in this town, in this community, this matters to them.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot.
Absolutely.
And 100%. And so whether the team won or not, they were coming tonight to have a good time with each other in the community, and it's still good to see.
Yeah, and it's an annual event. Every last Friday in September, or the first Friday in October is going to be homecoming here in Blackwell, America. And kudos, hats off to those who have come back out here, those families that are still in the community, those seniors who've stuck it out all these years, and the new families that are coming in. This new generation of Maroons.
Yeah, we're going to take a break, come back on the other side, and we'll talk about the numbers. But I want to say this: there's the game going on here, there's the tradition going outside, but they got these big fields in the back, and it's just littered with kids everywhere. There's games going on in the back. There's a lot of fun going on back there as well. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back. We'll break down the numbers and get your thoughts, Doolittle, on what we should see in the second half of this game. You are listening to the OCCC and Millwood Enrichment Foundation Halftime Report, and this is Millwood Falcon Football, brought to you by SSM Health at St. Anthony. We will be right back.
Let's give the Millwood band a big round of applause.
Welcome back to the OCCC Halftime Report, also sponsored by the Millwood and Richmond Foundation. Maurice Prince and Dwayne Doolittle here. We're about 4 minutes away from the second half regaining here, but taking a look at some of the numbers, Doolittle, for the Falcons from that side of it. The Falcons have ran the ball for 119 yards and also thrown the ball for 117, so that's 226 yards passing right now for the Falcons overall. As far as total offense, I should say, as for Blackwell overall, it's just 14 yards of total net offense in this game. So it has been one of those offensive explosions, and you got to give credit where credit is due to the team itself in terms of individual performances. You got Xavier Thompson with 4 catches for 61 yards. Anthony Keys, 1 catch for 38 yards and a touchdown. Carter Ray, 1 catch for 13 yards. Mark Anthony Fisher, 1 catch for 3 yards and a touchdown. Gabriel Bivens, 2 catches, a net 2 yards overall on that side. And then when we look at the rushing numbers overall, rushing leader is Anthony Keys, of course, 4 rushes, 57 yards and 3 touchdowns. CJ Turnbull, 3 rushes for 38 yards. Donovan Knight got loose from the backfield. I know he's a receiver. 1 rush for 11 yards and a touchdown overall. And Cameron Carter, of course, has been doing work. But I really like the performance also of Denver Young in the first half. That can't be understated, what he's done in the kicking game. And that's just a quick look at the first half statistics there, Dude.
Yeah, absolutely. And you said 113, 117. By the old man, that's 230.
117, 109.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. A pretty balanced game, land and sea. And this is the identity of the Millwood Falcons. They can once they get and some of that yardage is askew because a lot of that's those 0-yard passes that go forever. And so that's just an extension of the run game. And so, yeah, you look at that, you look at the balanced attack, you look at the phases, how the team is starting to come together to mature, the kicking game now becoming a part of it as Denver Young is putting the ball through the uprights on a consistent basis. And so this Falcon team now has another wrinkle that they've added to their repertoire as they go forward here deeper into district play. And that's going to be something that's going to be needed as they find themselves as they go deeper into their schedule.
So second half adjustments, for Blackwell, it's basically sustaining some drives here. It's not even about points. That Millwood is going to substitute some of the players out. Can you build something positive for them going into the weeks following after this? But if you're the Falcons, what adjustments would you like to see, Doolittle?
So if I'm Coach Franklin and the coach and the staff, I'm saying to the guys, hey, we got to eliminate all penalties. We've got to eliminate every single penalty. Let's not have any hankies on the ground this second half because it's a mindset now. We already know where we are in this game. And so we're now starting to put things into place for next week's game. And those penalties will magnify themselves next week and the week after that. So clean that portion of it up. Again, execution, hat on hat. The young guys, next man up mentality. When you get in, when it's your time to shine, what do? You've been waiting in the wings. You've been saying, put me in, coach, put me in, coach. Now when you get in, what do you do with it when you get in there?
Right, and I couldn't agree with you more on all of that because what Franklin will say is we know how the game is being called, but what are you going to do to adjust to it now?
Yeah.
Because it's happening in any game. just because it's being called tight, okay, adjust. You know, you have to have your mindset. Let us worry about who's making what call. Let us worry about that. We're going to tell you what to adjust. Now do that and then play the game. That's what has to happen now.
OTI. We call that OTI, one-time instruction. Let's see who's going to get it done. Because, guys, and you too, Mo, when I say guys, I'm talking about everybody that's listening. Yeah, this game is 51-0 at half. But next week, Jones comes to the good house. And we know the Jones team of old. They're not so far removed from state championships. And so that's a battle that they've got to play. And then they've got to go to OCS after that. And I'm guaranteeing you, if you take 10, 11 penalties and a half next week and the week after that, you're going to find yourself behind on the scoreboard.
Right, and to me, so the last impression we have of you is what we will see right now. So it's going to be important in the second half of the game to make sure that you're on top of your game, doing the best job you can, and take those positive vibes into the next week's game.
Yeah, mistake-free football this second half. No mess-ups.
And we want to focus a little bit more on the Millwood schedule here in a little bit here, Dude, but I'm glad you brought that up. So the 12's on the clock here. Now, Dude, what is the official rule on the running clock situation?
So there is no official rule. No official rule that says, when you get, 8-man football, 50 points at halftime, boom, the game's over. In 11-man football, there's no mercy rule. But what can happen is the coach that's behind can say, hey, let's run the clock. Let's just get out of here, get on to the house. Because everybody wants the same thing. They want this game to be over with so we can go into the crib.
Xavier Thompson catch the ball at the 13-yard line. He reverses the speed, reverses the field, and then catches it, and they're going to take it to the house. Do we have any flags? There is a penalty flag at about the 32-yard line. Xavier Thompson caught the ball on the maroon side of the field at the 13-yard line, reverse field position. I did not think he was going to find a crease. He did, and burst into maroon territory with that speed that he has like a rocket ship, and is going to be brought down. Well, he never was brought down. He made it all the way to the end zone, but there is a flag at the 32-yard line.
Yeah, he did all of that on his own. As I saw him going backwards and forward and side to side, and then I looked again, and he had turned on the afterburners. And
holding is the call,
and again,
against Millwood.
A holding penalty. We talk about mistake-free football, right?
Yeah, I mean that goes right against what you said right out the gate.
Yeah,
you can't erase that.
Yeah, but it gives the opportunity for the offense to come out and execute.
So it moves the ball back to the 43, to the maroon 43-yard line, and that's where the Falcons were set up shop 1st and 10 from that spot.
Positive by the defense here. And again, let me say why that's not that crucial to bring that back. Because in high school football, and in all levels of football, seldom do you see touchdown runs on the kickoff. Seldom. And so that's not a big thing. But it's when it gets to the execution on the offensive side of the ball. Like right now, there's a loss on the play. That's not solid execution against a team that you're up 51 on. That's not solid execution.
No, that moves the ball back to after the loss on Keys on that play, back to the 44-yard line. This time, Gabriel Bivens makes the catch.
Givens with the
on the wide receiver screen play down to the 39-yard line.
They got some of the yardage back, able to execute their positive yards again. Because, again, like I know, that this offense is not going to be the offense that finishes the game, as some of the younger players will get to come in.
What is typical is the offensive starters who have earned the right to start during the week, no matter what, will come out to start the second half. That's one of the key staples of Franklin. Every snap is earned during the week.
As they should.
So pass is going to be complete. This time, Carter Ray, and he's going to lose the ball. The ball is bouncing around. Are they going to say he's down? But Carter Ray took an odd angle there.
And he was not down.
Brought down by several Maroons.
That ball was out. If we were at the next level, that would have been reviewed.
Would report to the track.
That would have been a turnover.
Once again, all past Miss BHS. Please go down to the track.
To the 32-yard line. So that's where the play will be blown dead.
Again, ball security. Young player coming into the game, a freshman, and was able to put the ball on the ground. Got a positive break there by the officiating crew.
Gives the Falcons a first down. 4 receivers this time. Anthony Keys dances in the middle of the field, reverses field position. It's at the 25-yard line. And he's going to be brought down right there at about the 20. And it will be another Falcon first down on a gain of 12.
Yeah, Jordan Johnson.
Oh, did you see that? I saw that too.
Yeah, Jordan Johnson got to the next level. He was looking for somebody else to block going to the end zone because he thought Keys was headed that direction.
If Keys said, I need a convoy leader, Jordan Johnson.
Jordan Johnson is that man.
I nominate him
yes.
for that. 4 receivers, 2 split on either side. CJ Turnbull in shotgun formation. Ball is snapped. CJ, quarterback keeper this time. Waited a little late this time, and good pursuit. So Tim Mitchell brings him down, maybe for a loss of 1 on the play back to the 21-yard line.
Again, execution. CJ was late with that one. The hole was there. He didn't get in early enough, and the defense was able to make a positive play for the Maroons.
So second down and 11 now. 8:45 to go before the end of the third quarter. 4 receivers. Trips to the right. Ball on the right hash mark. CJ calling for it. Ball snaps. CJ drops back. Going to fling it over the middle. Nice screen pass in the middle. Ball's going to be taken down inside the 15-yard line, down to the 11-yard line.
That is Sean Buford. Again, how do you slow down this rush of the defense? Just throw it over top of their heads. Let them come through, throw it over top of their heads. Now they're off balance. They're second-guessing themselves.
So they're going to rule him down at about the 11-yard line that time.
Well, I'll say one thing. You can tell we're in the country because there are bugs that I've never seen before in life out here flying around these lights.
All right, going down inside the 10-yard line.
Buford once again with the ball.
Hey, listen,
brought down by several
there's been very few times in my broadcasting career that I can say that I am truly distracted by what's going on. I've been bit, flown in the face. I mean, I'm getting it. Hey, man. And I'm saying I'm hoping I don't take none of these guys home with me.
Absolutely, I'm gonna cut a jig getting back to the car. First and goal.
So Buford,
flag on the play.
Flag on the play, gets into the end zone for what will be a touchdown, but there is a penalty on the play. A flag will bring that action back because as it was staying, it was first and goal from the 6-yard line.
Yeah, there's some discussion by the officiating crew here. Maybe a formation issue possibly.
So let's see here what the official call is.
Illegal motion.
Illegal motion is the penalty against the Falcons this time.
One hand is motion, 2 hands is a shift.
So that moves the ball back to the 11-yard line, back to almost. So it will be.
Oh, now he's
legal
giving
procedures to call against Millwood.
Yeah, so first and goal from the 11.
He didn't believe the signal he gave us either.
So Buford in the backfield, 4 receivers, 2 split on either side. Carter Ray comes in motion across the formation. Blitz is being shown and going to fling it to the outside, and CJ put too much pepper on that pass.
Too much mustard on the hot dog.
7, Ray.
Intended for Ray. And Carter Ray, Carter Ray is not the tallest receiver.
No, he's a freshman.
And when CJ tossed that ball, I knew it. I said you needed a downward arc. Now Carter can probably do damage in space, but that was a little too tall for him.
Yeah, just a little over out of his reach there, but he gave it a gallant effort to go get it.
So 6:40 to go in the third quarter as it stands right now. Falcons are coming set. They got to hurry up. They only got 3 seconds on the play clock. 2, 1. And before things get started, they are going to get a timeout. Or is it timeout or is it delay again?
Timeout.
So timeout called on the field right now. Timeout called by Millwood. We'll take a quick break, too. We'll be right back in just a minute. You're listening to Millwood Falcon Football, brought to you by OCCC, SSM Health at St. Anthony, and the Millwood Enrichment Foundation. Back to live action. Back here in Blackwell, Oklahoma. Maurice Prince and Dwayne Doolittle fighting the elements. This is a episode of Survivor.
Yeah, man, I don't think I'd make it.
Going right up the middle, CJ's going to fling it into the flat for Buford, and it looks like Buford's going to get in for a touchdown.
Yeah, just a pitching catch and outpowered into the end zone, and the Falcons put another 6 on the board.
57-0 as it stands right now. We're going to take a look at the Falcons' schedule after Denver Young probably comes out here to do the extra point at this time.
And to your question about when will we get to a running clock, it hasn't stopped.
No, it's progressing. And I might have to go in there and minus something if something else bites me. All right, Denver Young puts it through the extra point through the uprights. So nice job by Denver Young doing that. Denver Young has been 3 for 4 on PATs thus far this evening.
And he's looked good doing it.
Yes, he has. So staying with action right here, Doolittle, as the clock continues to run. We're officially under 5 minutes to go in the third. 9 o'clock on your Friday night. You know, Doolittle, you were mentioning, of course, next week. I mean, this is a good district game, but at home next week against the Jones Longhorns. You know, Jones is off to a 3-0 start. They've been impressive, and to me, that's a very good early season test for the Falcons. Again, the outcome or winner or loser of that game is not out of the postseason by any stretch of the imagination. It doesn't affect it that way, but it could affect seeding. And it's one of those games where you got to be executing at a very high level overall.
Yeah, and again, I can remember these battles when Jones was a powerhouse playing for state championships. And so, yeah, what it means is simply win and host. And that's what you want to do, is you want to have home field advantage. You want to play those playoff games when you've got your fan base that doesn't have to travel. They just get in the car and come down the street. And so that's what the Falcons are playing for tonight. The point differential has already been established. You know, we had that in the first 3 minutes of the game. And so now it's about execution again. Look forward next week. This cakewalk that the Falcons are on right now, it's not going to be the same next week. Jones is going to come to town. They're coming to the good house, and they're looking to come out of there with a W.
So doing that, right now the kick is away, and it's going to be fielded right there at about the 30-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and 10.
But we had
a 40-yard line following a penalty, yes.
Yeah, ball kicked out of bounds.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Maroons. Root comes out. 3 receivers, twins to the right. Ball is snapped. Ingram going to try and run it up the middle. This time the Falcons corral and bring him down after a gain or short gain of a couple of yards.
Elliott rolls with the
going off tackle.
So gain of 2, though.
As I look at the defense now, a whole bunch of fresh, clean uniforms on defense for the Falcons.
So going back to work now. 3:08 to go. 58-0 is the score. Ball snapped. Going to work. Nice run to the outside this time. Very often.
Once again with the carry.
He's going to take the ball up for a gain of 6 or 7 yards.
Morris for Millwood.
Setting up 3rd down and short yardage, maybe 3rd down and 3.
Jason Clay on the stop for the Falcons, as the starting defense has exited the field.
So we're now with the substitutions in for the Falcons at this point.
I like to call them next man up. Next man up.
Next man up. Works for me there. So this time, running to the outside this time. Gain.
Pass completed to number 22, Tanner Ward.
So Ward's going to get a 1st down in Falcon territory at the 47-yard line.
First down.
So Blackwell's going to get their 2nd first down of the night.
Now, Caden Johnson on stop for the Falcons.
So ball at the 47-yard line, and just taking a look at the scoreboard across the state tonight, we're talking about Jones. Jones is up on Perry at home 29-0 right now. Pistol formation right now. 3 receivers, twins to the right. Ball snapped and going to work right up the middle. And another finishing forward run there. Rolls with the carry, taking the ball up to or down to the Millwood, I'd say Millwood 43-yard line. Second down and what will be 6 yards to go.
Again, they're finding some running success on this second unit, next man up unit for the Falcons, as they've been able to pound out some positive yardage. Again, as you mentioned, only their second first down of the night, coming late here in the third quarter.
3 receivers, twins to the right. Ball is snapped. Root with a nice play fake. Quarterback sweep to the outside is going to take the ball down to the 30-yard line. And Blackwell trying to put some points on the board, but it's going to be another first down. Third first down of the night, second consecutive one on this drive.
Yeah, and hats off to Coach Franklin and his staff, understanding where we are, what's going on here in this game. You know, that this thing is over. But again, don't take their heart out and show it to them before they die.
4 receivers, 2 split on either side, ball on the right hash. Root calls for it, drops back. Zayden looking, time, throws to the outside, pass incomplete.
Zone coverage, we got an official down on the field also.
Pass intended to number 12, Cam Short.
Official is down right there around the 10-yard line. He rolls around, did not quite see what happened on that one there, but
I think he got run over by one of the DBs.
So 16 seconds on the play, on the game clock, and action has all stopped. So both training teams from both schools are out on the field to see about this official, who is definitely hurt on the field. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be right back. You're listening to Millwood Falcon Football, brought to you by SSM Health at St. Anthony, the Millwood Enrichment Foundation, and OCCC. We'll be right back. So now we're back to live action here, and a difficult situation right now for the official that's down. We now have EMTs on the field looking at him. Do you have any of a glance to see what might have happened to him?
So I saw him fall backwards, and that's back judge Gary Nagel, who's now coming to his feet, and he rolled over. He did hit his head pretty hard. And that's just one of the inherent dangers of being on the field, you know, moving laterally when you got all these folks running around you, these youngsters running around you, these football players. Sometimes you get caught up. I can remember being in a game where I tried to avoid contact with the running back, and I'd move left, he'd go left. I'd move right, he'd go right. And we both ended up on the ground, and the public address announcer said, umpire Dwayne Doolittle on the tackle.
Let's give this.
Did he actually call you out?
He did. Gary Nagel is to his feet, and hats off to him for, you know, surviving that bump. Hope he's going to be all right.
We're going to let him get looked at over there. He seems to be walking off on his own power, and the Falcons, who might have run into him or made contact with him or checking on him, or, you know. And it's always nice to see sportsmanship, but, yes, they need to take a look at him to make sure everything is all right.
Yeah, Bryce Norris, number 5, may have gotten tangled up with the back judge as he was in his back pedal.
So as things go, and so for the officials in a high school game, when one when a situation like this occurs, what do the officials do now?
So we go to four-man coverage. So now you saw before we had two in the backfield behind the offense. The umpire now goes to the other side behind the defense, and he's still the umpire, and it will just be four-man coverage as we're at the end of the third quarter.
Yes, so the third quarter has officially come to an end, and the fourth quarter will officially begin in just a few minutes. You're listening to Millwood Falcon Football, brought to you by SSM Health at St. Anthony, the Millwood Enrichment Foundation, and OCCC. We will be right back. Back to live action now. Starting off the fourth quarter now. Root has it. Looking. He's going to fire into the end zone. And the pass is incomplete. Intended that time for Tanner Ward. So it's going to be officially third down and 10 now. Clock's officially running, Dew.
Yeah, Brett Morris on the coverage for Bryce Morris, I should say, on the coverage for the Falcons. Just stood there and waited. Just assignment football. Yeah, we're officially in running clock. As I'm looking at the official that was injured over listening to the Millwood band. And if you think he's hurt now, that's going to really hurt in the morning.
Catch is going to be made.
Pass completed to 88, Ryder Short.
So Short makes the catch down there about the 26-yard line. It's going to be fourth down. So down to the 26, gain of 4 on the play. So fourth down and 6.
Gut check right here for the defense.
Fourth down and 6 yards to go. 4 receivers split. Root has it. Going to swing it to the outside, and the pass hit the receiver in the hand. He was not able to make the catch. Had he caught it,
yeah, it was good for the first down.
It would have been good for the first down.
Yeah, and the corner was way off. I mean, I was expecting him to be in press coverage because it's a stick route. Get the stick, turn around, the ball hits you in the hands, and he just couldn't corral it in there.
So after the Jones Longhorns, then the Falcons go into a game against OCS, Doolittle.
Yeah.
Before going to a Mount St. Mary's, who's off to a good start right now. And then you're talking about homecoming being around that time frame there. Mount St. Mary's, and then you've got Chisholm. So I think Mount St. Mary's is the homecoming game this year for Millwood. Mount St. Mary's kind of a, I won't say newcomer to Class 2A, but being in the 2A division. Ball's loose on the ground, and the ball's still losing around, and it looks like the Maroons are going to get their hands on it, as there was a fumble on the play that time.
Yeah, the homecoming game for the Falcons is the Jones game.
Covered by Blackwell.
So next week.
Next week, yeah.
So homecoming for Millwood is next week. 9:31 to go before the end of the game. D'Angelo fumbles the ball this time. It's going to be recovered by the Maroons. So now you said gut check before. It will be our true one right now, Dew.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, what are you made of?
4 receivers, 2 split on either side. Ball skips across the carpet. Root has it. Ball fakes, throws it into the end zone, and the catch is going to be made in the end zone for a touchdown.
Good looking pass.
To number 22, Tanner Ward.
So Tanner Ward's going to get a touchdown on the board and put 6 on the board for the Maroons. 58-6. And it happened because of the fumble, and then basically Root, who has a good arm and good accuracy, Doolittle, just making the most of the situation, and caught on an inside slant route into the end zone. And now the two-point conversion attempt is no good.
Yeah, Jordan Root, I watched him on that play, gave the shoulder fake on a double move and went to the inside slant route, and he was wide open in the end zone for a touchdown.
So clock continues to run, but it is 58-6. And you have to ask yourself, defensively, you got to lock in and know your responsibilities. And that particular time, the ball's bouncing around, like it's at a playground, and Root stays composed, grabs it and finds an area in the end zone. That slant route, found the time, and just let a pretty ball fly in there.
Yeah, ones
for a
against
touchdown.
Ones against twos. This is the starting offense for the Maroons. These are the backup players for the Falcons. And, that's not – I don't know how you slant it either way. These are, when you look at it, it's pretty evenly yoked. I mean, if we take the same twos against their ones, I think we'd win that every time. It's bound to happen. I mean, this guy's a good quarterback. I'm going to look for an onside kicker, too, by the way, to get the ball back. But he's been out there all night under duress. He's had some success, and hats off to him for staying the course, and for this first-year head coach who's trying to have some success as well.
Right, and that's exactly what you want. And we were just talking about building positive things going into next week for Blackwell. And if I'm not mistaken, Blackwell next week will be at Perry next week.
Be a good game for them next week. You have to turn some things around here in this second half. Looking, seeing that they can score, can do it. Perry team is not as talented as this Millwood team.
Yeah, it's the Maroon Bowl next week. And that particular time, you probably should have let that one go out of bounds.
Yeah. But again, these are players who don't often see the field. And so next man up mentality, you let that bounce one time, it goes out, boom, you get the ball at the 35-yard line.
So the ball looks like it will be downed inside the 15. Is that the 13-yard line?
It is the 13-yard line.
So at the 13-yard line, that's where it is received, and it'll be 1st and 10 from that spot there for the Falcons. Now going to work. New quarterback in the game for the Falcons. Going to run it to the outside. Quarterback zone read. He hits the Jets to the outside. Are you going to catch him?
Nope.
No, they're not. He's still going at the 30. He's at the 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Falcons.
Number 9, Johnson with
and
the
there
run
are no flags on the field.
And that runner is Caden Johnson with a tremendous run all the way into the end zone there to the house for the touchdown, dude.
Caden Johnson called his own number around the edge. And this Falcon team has outside speed. They have speed once they get to the edge that these Maroons haven't seen or don't see every day in practice, I should say. Injured player on the field for the Maroons.
Down at about down at the Maroon 45-yard line. But what a play into the end zone there. You're talking about
from the 13. That's
13. So you're talking about an 87-yard run there by Caden Johnson.
All by himself.
5:45 to go. 64-6 is the score right now. Falcons look to improve tonight to 3-1 on the season. So we were just talking about the Maroon Bowl. For those who don't know, of course, Perry and Blackwell both have the same mascot, the Maroons.
Yes.
So it's the Maroon Bowl, and I think that's something that these two cities have enjoyed for quite a long time.
Long, rich heritage of the Maroon Bowl. I've never attended a Maroon Bowl, and I think I'm going to keep that streak intact.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. If the bugs are any bigger than in Perry, then yes.
I'm originally from Guthrie, and so when you talked earlier about the players behind the stadium that were running, I was that kid in the 70s running up and down the hill at the Jelsma Stadium at the Rock. That was me. And as hats off to the coaching staff, who just the muscle guy on the team just picked him up and carried him off.
Yeah.
That's Coach Muscles.
So it looks like it's a lower leg injury for that player. So now Denver Young will attempt the extra point attempt. And the kick is up and through the middle of the H.
Young with the extra point.
And the PAT is good by Denver Young. And so for that, the score is now 65-6. The clock is back to running again, so we will see another Maroon possession.
Yeah, and you know, you said, well, why did it stop then? You know, once we ask for a running clock, it doesn't stop. It only on timeout. Doesn't stop for anything.
So Coach Odom getting personnel and everything right for the Maroons.
This coaching staff, you know, they're going to build this team. You know, given some time in it, they're going to have some success.
Right.
You know, they're going to compete. Tonight, this Falcon team, again, defending state runner-up 2 years in a row. CJ Turnbull, a junior this year, you know, a 3-year starter. Cameron Carter, Xavier Thompson. I mean, I could keep naming names after name after name. They've tasted that success, and so they know what it takes to win. A legacy coach, and Coach Franklin played at this team, so he understands the heritage, the tradition. He understands what it means to be a Falcon. You know, he's lived that life, and now he's coming back here, coaching this team, and instilling those values into these young men, a part of this team.
So 3:49 to go. The Falcons are going to go ahead and punt the ball away. Denver Young, I'll kick the ball off. Let me correct myself here.
Long night.
It is. It's been a violent night for my skin.
Oh, man. They got attack bugs as the Perry Maroon Band.
So now going to work. Denver Young kicks it away. It's going to take a bounce into the end zone for a touchback. 1st and 10 for the Maroons.
Solid kick. Denver Young doing a great job handling the kicking responsibilities for the Falcons.
So with that being said, ball will be at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Under 3 to go. This likely will be the final possession of the night for the Maroons. Coming up, the Big O's Pork and Dreams postgame. Today's game has been sponsored by, of course, OCCC, SSM Health at St. Anthony, GQ Fashion, Super Prep, Perry Publishing and Broadcasting, GQ Fashion Fine Menswear. Run up the middle, gain for a gain of 4 out to the 24-yard line.
Got a good solid run again. Just, you know, staying the course. Trying to find an identity for this Maroon football team. You know, they've looked to pass and hadn't had much success. They now have gotten back to run game where they've had limited success. As Coach Black comes out, gives me a fist bump. Job well done tonight by the coaching staff. Root calls his own number.
Root finds a crease up the middle, is going to burst ahead for a gain of about 22 yards, out beyond the 40-yard line to the 42-yard line.
Yeah, Root, there's no quit in him. Zayden Root, the junior, 6'3", 165-pound quarterback, who's now looking to put his stamp on this game with his, done it already with his arm, now looking to do it with his legs.
Well, he has to understand that the best team that he's going to play with is probably next season. Those sophomores become upperclassmen, the freshmen become sophomores, and there should be another crop. But this group would have been experienced.
Short with the reception.
Short gain, short with the catch, a gain of 4 yards for Blackwell. Out to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, just to your point with Root, just stay the course. You know, don't enter the transfer portal and just be a homegrown player. And it's sad that you got to say that in high school football. It is sad you got to say that.
Yeah, because that's where we are now. It's the modern era of how things are working now. So going to work right now, under a minute to go in this contest right now. Again, the Big O's Pork and Dreams post game's coming up. Catch, pass is incomplete.
Pass intended to number 88, Ryder short.
And Coach Oden probably wants to get one more play in.
34 seconds to go. So they're going to get the call in. It'll be under 20 seconds when they snap it. So now Zach Root might call his own number one more time.
Why not? Get to the root of things.
Going to work right now. Root's going to fire one deep along the edge. And pass is incomplete. Contact down. Now we have a player hurt on the final play of the game. But that will be the final play of the game tonight. 65-6 will be the final score of the evening. The training staff and everyone's going to have to take a look at this young man who went up to try and make a play on the ball but fell kind of awkwardly when he hit the ground. That is Jude Sappenfield, who is down. We'll take a break and come back as the game is officially over. The teams cannot handshake until the player is up and give him a look, but we'll be back in about 30 seconds with the Millwood post-game report coming up in just a second. You're listening to Millwood Falcon Football. We'll be right back. And we are back for the Big O's Pork and Dreams post-game report. Maurice Prince and Dwayne Doolittle here. Due 65-6, the teams were officially able to give handshakes on the night as Sattenfield was able to finally get off the field or able to walk off under his own power. But it was a tremendously dominant performance tonight by the Falcons overall.
Yeah, they just came in and, again, by the script, understood what was to happen, how this game was destined to go, knowing the team, knowing your opponent, of course, is how you attack the game or approach the game. And so they came in and had some success through the air, running the ball, special teams. The one takeaway for me is the amount of penalties that were that were called against them, be it real or not. But they put themselves in a position and let the officials make that decision. And so those are the things that got to be cleaned up going forward. But other than that, a dominant night by the Falcons. CJ looked good in the pocket, looked good coming out of the pocket. The run game and Anthony Keys. The special teams play by Xavier Thompson. The backups coming in. The quarterback on the 87-yard run. It was just a dominant night by the Falcons.
Yes, it was. And so looking at the final statistics for the night, the Falcons ran for 215 yards and passed for 146. Doing the math, carry the one, that's 361 yards of total offense. We would like to shout out all the Falcons that scored tonight, but there is a Falcon that flew higher than most tonight, and that would have to be none other than Anthony Keys tonight, Doolittle.
Yeah, I got a chance to say it a few times, beep, who's got the keys to the Jeep, and it was definitely Anthony Keys Jr. who did it with his feet. See what I did there?
Yes, they did.
And he is our player, the Big Old Pork and Dreams player of the game tonight. Anthony Keys, solid in the run game for the Falcons.
Okay, now we made a lot of friends here tonight, little flying friends, so let's not take any of them home with us. The Falcons on the season and will be at home next week for homecoming as they face the Jones Longhorns next week. Anthony Keys' official numbers for the night in terms of his total overall performance. Let me make sure I get this number right. Anthony Keys finished with 6 rushes for 68 yards and 3 touchdowns on the night. And if I'm not mistaken, 3 touchdowns rushing, 1 catch, 38 yards, and a touchdown on the receiving end. That's the total back package.
There it is. He did it with his hands, with his feet. He was able to get into the end zone seeking. I was trying to give it to Xavier Thompson, who had several called back called short and all that, but Anthony Keys had a dominant performance for the Falcons tonight. He has deserved to be the Big O's Pork and Dreams player of the game.
2 locations, Midwest City and also in Edmond. They serve food, get that famous fat butt. And remember, they're open on the weekends till the meat is all gone.
Come get you one of these taters.
Get yourself one of these taters. He's Dwayne Doolittle. I'm Maurice Prince. Thank you, sir, for helping me brave the elements tonight. And we will be on campus tomorrow afternoon as the Langston Lions kick off, trying to get win number 1 of the season. So we'll see you guys next week. I want to thank all our sponsors for tonight's game. That, of course, is SSM Health at St. Anthony, OCCC, the Millwood Enrichment Foundation, GQ Fashions Fine Menswear, Super Prep. Also want to thank one other one that we got, Super Prep, and, of course, Perry Publishing and Broadcasting Company. You guys have a great night as we're leaving Blackwell, America, and we're hoping not to take any of our flying friends with us, but if we do, you'll hear about it next week.
That's for sure.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. You've been listening to Millwood Falcon Football, and thank you, our producers, our cameraman, Deshaun Birch, our producer, Dimitri Prince, and also in studio, Stevie, holding us down, Stevie D.